What you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, hate is
birthday year for Michaela Robertson. All that. You ready? We ready? What do we think? Are we ready? I don't know. We're probably not even ready.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when
Sally die?
It comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland.
So,
enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
I thought maybe you thought it was frozen. I wasn't frozen. What's up? Welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for being here. What's happening? Another day. Another get-together. We're back doing different things. What you got? I think she got a new lease now. Uh-oh. Ganja butter. What the fuck? That seems weird. Is that like truffle butter? Is that the same thing? Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. So we got a couple different things to cover. The title's about, you guys want to cover some Phil or no? That's up to you all. But I've got some other stuff to cover either way. Some Nick Rekieta stuff came out, and it's pretty bad. So recently we've been covering, a lot of people call him the blackface lawyer Nick Rekieta, because I think Pod Awful has a picture of him doing blackface. I don't know. But Nick Rekieta got busted with this cocaine, and some of the shit that came out was pretty rough. And it does involve children, so like if you're triggered by that or something, yeah, be advised. It's pretty bad. Let's see what we got. Still no new chair. I'm in the backup chair with a busted cylinder. I cannot find, like, I've been looking at refurbished chairs, but still, like, $600 is a lot for a chair. But I spend a lot of time in it. In my head, I'll think like, oh, I can justify this. I spend hours and hours a day in it. I might as well get a comfortable chair that doesn't hurt my back, that won't break down. It'll probably last 10 years. They got a 12-year warranty on them. A 12-year warranty. It's worth it. But I can't push the button. I can't spend that much money on myself. It bothers me somehow. But with a 12-year warranty, you know what I'm saying? So if I spent $600 over 12 years, it's like nothing. The other chairs are like $100, $200, but they last about a year. So I don't know. I just can't do it. Can't do it. I think it's $50 a year or some shit. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. I am going to read this Nick Rekieta thing, but I'm going to read it off screen because there's some stuff here that it mentioned his kid's name. His kids are not retracted from this, so I'm going to read it off screen and try to do the retraction myself while I'm reading it. So let's see what we got here. It's cropped really weird, but I'll try to read through it and correct the cropping. Like, whoever cropped this fucking image cut the side of the page off on both fucking sides. So it says, this is KC Sheriff's Office, case number 2400-4152. It says reporting party, Melvin Kevin Scott. Now, what's really weird is the reporting party asked repeatedly to be made anonymous, and they just write, like, this guy, date of birth, address, social security number, blood type, registered as a Democrat or Republican. They put all his information and then put he wishes to remain anonymous. For just a Coke a day, you can buy a new chair. There you go. Make a donation at Coldberry.fun. Buy me a chair. If you're doing Coke like Nick does, like Nick Ricada does, we could have probably bought it within the last 5 minutes. Anyways, here we go. Melon. I'm sorry. His last name's Melon. Kevin Scott. Date of birth, address, phone number, pastor at New London Evangelical Covenant Church, would like to remain anonymous. How weird is that? That's crazy. They put his name, date of birth, address, all the way down to his street address, phone number, pastor at New London Evangelical Covenant Church, and then right underneath that it says, would like to remain anonymous. Holy fuck, dude. Anyways, suspect, Ricada Nicholas Robert, date of birth, address, cell phone number, all that stuff. Suspect, Kayla Christine Ricada, Ricada, date of birth, address, home phone, cell phone. Mentioned, M. Holtz, Aaron Michael M. Holtz, date of birth. Mentioned, April M. Holtz, date of birth and address. Their addresses are there. Then it says, oh, by the way, the other day we were looking for the house, but I was looking at the wrong address. Actually, Red Pill Girlfriend had the house. If you want to see what his house is like, this is this house that they couldn't even be bothered to fucking clean. It's a beautiful fucking house. It's 4 beds, 4 baths, 5,000 square feet, long ass driveway. Like, this is a beautiful house that they wouldn't even clean. Like, the cops literally said it was disgusting. Are they looking for the Prime link or the one that the affiliate link for Amazon? It's a really beautiful house. I'm gonna keep going through it. It's got some property with it. It's a nice house. The downstairs, so you'll hear the cops come in the front door, and they have, like, when we read the report, there's like a female or a couple females plus a child that come from the downstairs. So the downstairs is not like a basement. I guess it's like a split level. Because when you see a pool table and even a dining chair down there, it looks like maybe a family room or something downstairs. A big pantry, nice kitchen with a big built-in island. The stove's actually in the island. That's interesting. Bar side seating on the other side. Big dining table, big living room. I mean, it's a beautiful house, right? And they're so coked out of their fucking minds that they can't even be bothered to do laundry. I am thinking, so even though there's the laundry room that never gets used, even though, God, that's a big closet right there. Even though she didn't technically report it, you're going to see, I think the former nanny had something to do with this, which, to be fair, it's a big ass closet. To be fair, fuck Nick for the way he talks shit about his nanny on the show. If you guys don't know, he complained about huge bathroom. He complained about her spending $3,000 a month on snacks for the kids. Like, one time she like, all the stuff she spent that much was like $3,000. She turned in $3,000 worth of receipts for a month, and he like bitched about her and said that she was stealing money from him and shit on the show. Why she still worked for him? So, oh, that's another little like breakfast nook area, huh? Another fridge, another sink, another dining area. Oh, that's the downstairs part, I guess. Pool table, another living room, a big-ass fucking built-in safe. Look at that. That's nice. I'm guessing this room with the guns right here is a built-in fucking gun safe. That's not bad. This is what a trust fund gets you in Minnesota, I guess. It's a nice place. 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. $1 million fucking property. There's the property from a drone. So it's got a decent size of property. Yeah, it's a big ass house, dude. It's a big ass house. I think I could at least find the energy to clean that motherfucker. Even the landscaping's pretty nice. The retaining wall and stuff. Everything's nice, even though it's on a slope, you know. Anyways, that's the house. There's estimates for $870,000 with a $5,500 a month estimated. if you refinance it right now, that's what your payment would be like. $5,500 a month. It's a nice place. Anyways, back to this. So it mentions, I think the cleaning lady, I'll show you where. I'll show you where it's at in the report. We'll mention it, but I think the cleaning lady had something to do with this because she worked for Nick. She observed the swapping, the switching, whatever the fuck they want to call it. She probably observed the drug use. She observed the neglect. And then she went to work for another family in the church. We can look up. They actually lived a pretty good ways away from each other, right? 12291 51st Street. 12291 51st Street, Spicer, Minnesota. So that's our first point. Let's do directions. And the other point is going to be Aaron's address. You can claim I'm doxing him, I guess, but he's already doxed. Give me just a second. What was the address? 10. Blah, blah, blah. Where is this? Aaron. Okay. I think there was another house. I think at one time he said there's another house on the property or another house that's another house on the property or another house in that neighborhood or something, because they actually live almost an hour away from each other. From Aaron's residence to Nick's residence is an hour away from each other. 50 minutes. But I can't remember. We'll read this report. Someone either said there's another house on that property, which it seems like that would have been in a listing. But when I looked it up, what it looked like is Rada bought that house and property. He also bought a vacant property like to the left of that property just to combine with his property. And maybe the property on the left of that one, which would have had another house on it, but I'm not sure. Or maybe it's just vacant and he was looking at it. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, it's about 50 minutes away. One of them lives in Spicer. One of them lives in St. Cloud. Yeah, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Anyways, we're back to it. Victim. Now, victim is going to be one of the kids. Another kid is mentioned. Victim kid. So this one's born in 2007. There's one born in 2011, one born in 2012, one in 17, and one in 15. Then it says mentioned is a Holman, Paula Holman is mentioned. Would like to remain anonymous in big letters underneath that. Jamie Lee Elizabeth Wright would like to remain anonymous. Britson, this Cheney Lynn Bitson, Bitzan, Bitson is going to be the maid, the nanny, whatever. And then investigating officer Sergeant David Nestor. Next slide, please. Here we go. Now, this is where it kind of gets bad. Like, if they were just doing drugs and their kids were well taken care of, fed, clean, happy, had no idea, I can't really knock them, right? I'm not the guy that thinks everybody should be like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, that's just not me, right? If you want to use drugs recreationally, I'm not advising you. I can't do that from this platform, but I don't make decisions for you, right? If everything's handled, your kids are taken care of, your bills are paid, you're not missing payments or fucking up someone else's life, you're just doing it to yourself, I don't give a fuck. But this is where it changes it drastically for me, and this is what I've been suspecting the whole fucking time, especially once we saw those neglect charges. Here we go. On 5/16/2024 at approximately 08:39 hours, 08:39 hours, I, Sergeant David Nestor of the Yoha, I can't remember how they said it, the KC Sheriff's Office was asked to stop into the office to take a mandatory reporting call from an individual who wished to remain anonymous but was mandated to report. So once they told this pastor in the state of Minnesota, he has to report it. Even if he may have suspected it was bullshit. Even if he may have suspected it was bullshit. Well, no, we're judging them because they're not watching their fucking kid. That guy at the campground's moving, by the way. Said his daughter will never be back at that campground again. The one that he couldn't keep her out of the river. Or couldn't watch her while she's in the river or whatever. Anyways. He's leaving. Said he'll never be back. So once they said, even if it would have been bullshit and someone had said it, the pastor has to report it, because if it comes back that he didn't report it, and he knew about it, then he's going to be in trouble with the state and possibly even charges, like criminal charges. Everybody that knew about it that didn't report it could potentially criminally be charged. Mandatory report. Mandated to report. His name was Kevin, but he wants to remain anonymous. But he's a pastor with the Evangelical Covenant Church of the city of New London. He is the pastor to a family with 5 children. The family he received reported information of neglect on the family he received the report on is Nicholas Ricada, his wife Kayla Ricada, and their children. And then it names all the children here. Now, they didn't black none of that out, so I'm just going to skip it. Now, 2 little girls, C and A, are the last. Oh, I'm sorry, it names them all. So there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All 5 of them are named here. The children reside with their mother and father at 12291 51st Street. That's the house we just looked up. Spicer, Minnesota. The pastor advised that the Ricadas have a live-in, had past tense, had a live-in nanny for approximately 4 to 5 years. And that is this Bitzan lady, Bitzan, Bitzan, who recently, now, why if she didn't have anything to do with this, if the cleaning lady didn't accidentally slip something up and say it to a new family, why would this even be in the report? So this is where I was saying, I think she may have been talking to the new family she works for and may have let something slip that caused the new family to become suspicious. Because listen, they had a cleaning lady who worked for them to 4 to 5 years, who recently left the Ricadas and began working for another family within the church. This was a first flag for the individuals who reported to the pastor that something was wrong with the Ricadas. So that was the first red flag, is their cleaning lady for 5 years just left. And if she didn't say something, how would anybody even, I mean, I know she went to work for another family, but maybe she just, wanted to work for them, wanted to move closer, wanted to move somewhere else, wanted to do something else. Kind of weird, right? Anyways, Mellon, the pastor, advised that the nanny does not know that this report has been made. So she gets named, date of birth, address, phone number, everything gets put on about her, but she doesn't even know this is a report. And they included all her shit too. They're not very good at keeping people anonymous. Okay? They give all your information and say, would like to remain anonymous. Does not know that this report has been made. A total of 4 anonymous people made contact with the pastor. So 4 different people reported this to the pastor and advised of the following information. 4 different people come to the pastor. Here's the information. Now, this is all together from all 4 people. It doesn't separate it like person 1 said A and B, and person 2 said C, D, and A. It doesn't do that. Nicholas and Kayla Ricada have 2 homes within the property of 12291 51st Street. It says they have 2 homes at their address. A family who had been staying in one home renting, Jessica and her unknown husband, it says their last names, were asked to leave recently, and nobody is occupying the second residence. So they say they have 2 homes at the address. Jessica and husband were asked to leave, and nobody's living there. Nicholas and Kayla Ricada have formed a newer relationship with Aaron and April Imholt. This is really classic, I think, of like holier than thou church mentality. So because they go to church with Nick and Kayla, and then this new guy, Aaron and April, pop up, when they start noticing that Nick's a crackhead, they think Aaron must have made Nick do it, right? They think that, it can't be the guy I went to church with. This evil guy has come and defiled our sweet and innocent Nick and Kayla. They report that they think that Aaron brought drugs, and it's actually the exact opposite. Nicholas and Kayla have formed a newer relationship with Aaron and April Imholt. I was advised that Aaron Imholt and Nicholas Ricada do some type of blogging and or YouTube radio shows. The pastor was advised that Imholtz moved in with the Ricadas as well. Now, would you say they moved in? I guess sort of. They stayed over the night there, and it got to be pretty often. They said it was like 4 to 5 times a week at one point. So there you go. Maybe so. The house is in disarray with clothes and other cluster items everywhere. Who would have been the person that could have told them that the house is in disarray, cluttered and full of clothes? This has to be, one of the people reporting has to be the new family that the maid works for. It has to be. Right? Because no one else is in it. I'm sure Nick didn't invite other people from church over. That's the first claim. House is in disarray. Well, living together with a new couple, house is in disarray. The children are 2 boys, and it names them, and 3 girls, and names them. They have been noted to have been wearing the same clothing for 3 to 4 days with their clothing in disarray and starting to smell. Like, if you can't put your kids in clean clothes to send them to school, you're probably a piece of shit crackhead, right? 3 or 4 days at school in the same clothes. And they were trying to say like, oh, the kids didn't know that something was up. Over the course of a year, their parents changed. I mean, they used to have clean clothes, I'm assuming, and now they don't. They know something's up. This is the bad part. The preschool director at the church that the youngest daughter attends and is in preschool class is the woman named Paula. Paula advised the pastor that the younger children have been telling her that they are hungry, they're not being fed, and also made comments about wearing the same clothes over and over again. Anybody that's on the internet that is fucking defending Nick, go fuck yourself, right? They're not even taking care of their kids, and they got little kids. They can't fend for themselves. Like, fuck that. They would come to school, because they went to school at their church, and if you didn't know, it was like a homeschool that was it was like a homeschool collective at the church, and saying they hadn't been fed, and they didn't know why they weren't changing clothes anymore. One anonymous party advised they do not believe that the children born in 2012 and 2015 are being homeschooled, while the older boys do attend school at Will Mary Community Christian School, whatever that is. It's cut off. It just says Wilmar Community Christian School. All information that is regarding the church to Ricada family has now gone to, and it names one of the kids, as a response is not attainable from Nicholas and Kayla. So now all information pertaining to the church, where they also go to school, it's part of the church, isn't even being given to the parents anymore because they don't respond. It's being given to the oldest son. So like if the other kids like have a report card that needs to go home, or a trip, or there's a volunteer thing, they're giving it to the oldest son because the two adults won't respond. An anonymous person advised the pastor that they observed Nicholas being lethargic and appeared to be high or drugged and driving a car around. Another anonymous person advised Nicholas will walk out randomly during the middle of sermons. An anonymous individuals have advised the pastor that they have noticed behavior changes in both Nicholas and Kayla, with Kayla almost appearing now to be anorexic and Nicholas to have lost a substantial amount of weight recently. Anonymous individuals have advised that they have seen what was being described as injection track marks on Nicholas's arms. Were they track marks? Maybe. Were they scabs that he's picking, digging, all that shit? Maybe. It's hard to tell. Anonymous individuals advise the pastor that they believe the Imholtz are possibly assisting with some type of drug use they have brought to Nicholas and Kayla's house. Nicholas's blogging and views and or subscribers are down, possibly resulting in financial issues. So Nick is just struggling. He's a good guy. He's a good Christian. He goes to church every Sunday. His kids are a little smelly and always hungry, but he's such a good guy, and he might be struggling right now, and Aaron has brought drugs to him. An anonymous person also advised the pastor that at one point, Nicholas and Kayla Ricada left with the Imholtz to go to a casino, leaving the children alone and putting the oldest son, who was born in 2007, the son that was born in 2007, in charge. The pastor was unsure if this is allowed or not. So the oldest son, I think 16. Could he be in charge? That's a lot of kids to leave with him, but he's definitely old enough to watch his brothers and sisters at 16. So the pastor said, I don't know if this is allowed or not, but here you go. The pastor advised that nobody told him anything other than possibly neglect or drug use. There were 0 reports of any physical or sexual abuse, and that the kids were not in any immediate danger at the time of report. They didn't believe it to be in any immediate danger, just neglect as the form of abuse. Then it says defendant, blah, blah, and then it's got the charges. So controlled substance, crime in second degree, neglect or endangerment of child, that's for Nick. Certain person not to possess firearms, controlled substance for Kayla. Neglect or endangerment of a child for Kayla. Certain person not to possess a firearm. Then April had controlled substance, crime in the second degree, neglect or endangerment of the child. So they basically charged them all with the same, except for the firearm was just charged for the people in the master bedroom. The following items are located in the master bedroom near the nightstand. A yellow snort tube positive for cocaine. A black vial with a white substance inside. Nick tested positive for cocaine, NIK. Contents were removed from the black container and placed in a separate baggie weighing 2.2 grams within the bag. 2 credit cards listed to April Imholtz. So both of April's credit cards are on what? So Nick claims she was just visiting. She's just a friend that was visiting. She didn't do any drugs. She doesn't do anything at all. She's completely out of this. She was just a friend that was over visiting when the cops happened to come. But her credit cards are the cards they're using to chop up coke with in their bedroom. Like, if I don't know about your drug use, I'm not living there. I'm just a friend visiting to see how you're doing. How do my credit cards get to your cocaine station? .22 caliber spent shell casings on the floor of the nightstand in the master bedroom. The following items are located underneath the bed in the master bedroom: a 6-hour AR with several magazines and loose ammo. The following item is located in the master bedroom dresser: a glass container with metal filter and a grinder and another glass container, all positive for cocaine. The following items were located in a safe in the master bathroom. Bag with cards and dollar bill, positive for cocaine. Large corner cut baggie with white powder, tested positive for cocaine, weighed 18.96 grams with packaging. 3 small baggies tested positive for cocaine, weighed 5.49 grams with packaging. Green colored tablets tested positive for ketamine, 8 dosage units, 8 pills. Digital scale tested positive for cocaine. Metal pan with white powder on it tested positive for cocaine. 2 snort tubes and 2 metal cutters. Razor blades, I guess. Snort tubes obviously tested positive for cocaine. The following items are located in a safe in the master bedroom closet. $100 bill with white powder residue tested positive for cocaine. A bindle white bag with white powder substance tested positive for cocaine. A cocaine scooper. 2 baggies within a baggie with a funnel. Unknown brown substance, negative on all drug tests. Unknown brown substance that says negative on all fucking their field tests, but they'll send it somewhere else to see what it is. The following items were located in a safe in the garage in a closet. Spring from our Armory 45 caliber 1911, 6-hour 380 handgun, a 45 caliber magazine, and 2 380 caliber magazines, for 1 magazine for each gun. I'm sorry, 4 magazines for 1 gun and 2 magazines for the smaller, the 380. The following items were located within the garage. Ammunition from the garage, including 45 and 223, and a Remington 870 12-gauge shotgun. The following items were located in the master closet. A 145 caliber bullet. Total weight of measurable cocaine was 26.67 grams. 26.67 grams. Let's see. The next one says digital evidence. We have digital photographs, audio recording, Nicholas Rekieta, body cam video from 3330, 3338, 3341, 3310, 3553, 3312. I'm sorry, 3353, 3312. 3336, 3302, and 3313. Those are all the badge numbers of the cops or call signs or whatever. It could be car numbers, whatever. A PowerPoint video clip from Nicholas Rekieta's online podcast, which shows a white powdery substance on his nose, and also a screenshot from Nicholas Rekieta's podcast, which shows the white powdery substance on his nose. The one we watched, the deleted one. The one we watched, the deleted one, that had the powder all over his nose. Documents: application for search warrant receipt, and inventory return. Details: Detective Quinn Pumplin, had been made aware of by Sergeant Dave Nestor of a family services report from a mandated reporter regarding Nicholas Robert Rekieta and Kayla Christine Rekieta. I reviewed Sergeant Nestor's initial report, and on 5/22/24, I was reviewing further information in relation to this investigation. After reviewing that information, I applied for a search warrant for the house at 12291 51st Street, which is Rekieta residence, as well for a search of Nicholas Rekieta. Oh, a body search, on-person search of Nicholas Rekieta. For further information in relation to the follow-up investigation and information, please refer to the search warrant. It was arranged that on 5/23/24, so the next day, deputies would meet at a predetermined location and eventually travel to the Rekieta household to execute the search warrant. We traveled to the area, and while almost to the residence, we observed a black Lincoln vehicle with Nicholas in the driver's seat traveling southbound on 51st Street. We were traveling northbound. Sergeant Nestor was advised to stop Nick and detain him as he was part of the search warrant, and his person was to be searched, which Sergeant Nestor did. So they, as they were almost there, they saw Nick and pulled him over. The rest of the above-mentioned officers then continued traveling to the 51st Street address to execute the search warrant, and we arrived at approximately 0913 hours, 9:13 in the morning. Chief Deputy Kent Bauman stayed and went to the traffic stop with Sergeant Nestor. So 2 at the traffic stop, and the rest of them went on. When we arrived on scene, we started knocking on the door of the south side of the residence and were able to gain a response from a young female juvenile from within the residence who advised us that her dad advised her to not open the door to strangers, for strangers. We knocked for several moments, indicating we were law enforcement and trying to speak with the juvenile to come open the door for us. We noted that there was a keypad on the door and attempted to make radio contact with either Chief Deputy Bauman or Sergeant Nestor when I overheard radio communications from Sergeant Nestor advising that Nicholas was not going to give us the door code to open the door. So the kid was, the parents had to know, right? If the kid's yelling at somebody through the door, I don't open the doors for strangers, and they're knocking and saying law enforcement, were they just trying to play like they weren't home? Like it was just kids home, so maybe the cops will go away? Who knows? Maybe. He was not going to give us the door code. This was after several moments and an appropriate time for an adult to make it to the door, at which time Detective Nick Ardoff, utilizing a ram, opened the door, causing minimal damages to the door. So they hit the door with a ram. While making entry into the residence, I observed Sergeant Swanson was standing in the kitchen and making comments for someone to walk towards him. I was holding on the stairway we saw as soon as you walk in. I was holding on the stairway to the downstairs and observed 2 females came from a hallway on the northern part of the residence towards Sergeant Swanson. So that's the 2 adults. They weren't downstairs. They were upstairs, but they were coming like through the back of the kitchen. They were detained and brought outside. There were 2 children located on the upstairs floor. We were advised that there was 1 child downstairs by Kayla Ricada. The other female who was detained was April Imholt. They were moved outside and eventually, while making loud commands into the basement, this has to traumatize the children so bad. While making loud commands into the basement, it's still better for them because they're not being neglected now, but, you know, this would be scary as hell for kids. Kids try to rationalize everything, even if it doesn't make sense. You're their heroes. While making loud commands into the basement from the top of the stairs, I observed a juvenile male walk out. I advised him to walk up the stairs, which he complied, and went out and stood with his mother. I continued searching the residence, and we located an additional juvenile female in the basement bedroom who was apparently sleeping. I advised her to walk out with me to her mom, which she agreed to do. She held my hand as we walked up the stairs and outside. 4 children were placed outside with their mother, Kayla, as well as April. The children located in the residence were these. Let me do this because I want to see. I'm guessing the oldest one wasn't there, maybe.
Hot Boaty Sauce just resubscribed for 12 months.
Yeah, the oldest one, the 16-year-old, doesn't seem like he was there. The 16-year-old, I'm not trying to dox him, but his name's Christian. It's all over the internet already. He is not named as being one of the... He was not there. Okay. I was advised by Sergeant Nestor and Chief Deputy Bauman that they were going to have Nick Rekieta travel back to their residence as we executed the search warrant. So they turned Nick around, sent him back. We continued clearing the residence and were able to have the residence secured. The residence was extremely cluttered. There were clothes everywhere, dirty dishes, dust, and an overall dirty, disgusting home. I overheard Nick Rekieta arguing with Chief Deputy Bauman in the front of the house, demanding that he receive a copy of the search warrant, which at that time I handed him a copy of the search warrant. I saw him look at it and eventually throw it on the ground. So he's one of those guys that's like, no, you got to have a search. Here it is. And he just throws it on the ground. What search warrant? Yeah, but the problem is if he's reenacting Scarface, when he says, say hello to my little friend, it's his neglected children. I think that's part of the problem. The house was a very large house, almost 5,000 square feet. We started searching the master bedroom where we almost immediately, Detective Sergeant Brannis located a snort tube and a black vial on the top of 2 credit cards. Those items are listed above. The snort tube tested positive for cocaine. Inside the black tube was a noticeable amount of white powdery substance, which also field tested positive for cocaine. Around that time, I went outside and spoke with Nicholas Rekieta. I requested him to speak with me. I advised him of his Miranda warnings. He agreed to speak with me and waived his right to counsel. He explained to me that he may not answer certain questions. The conversation was recorded on my body camera. I can't wait to see the fucking body camera. During the conversation with Nicholas, he advised that he sleeps in the master bedroom with his wife, Kayla, and that April was just there visiting on this specific day. Not a resident. She was speaking today. Or she was visiting today. This is a general overview of our conversation. See body cam video for full details. At the time, it was determined that Nicholas Rekieta, Kayla Rekieta, and April Imholt would all be placed under arrest and transported to KC jail by marked KC deputies, as well as State Trooper Josh Monson. While placing Nick in the State Trooper squad car, I observed several injuries to his arms, and I even photographed them. They appeared to be sores common with controlled substance abusers. Alicia, with the KC Family Services, was contacted and eventually came to the scene to assist with placing the children with their grandparents. So the children, Aaron said the children were with family, but he wouldn't name who. They were with the grandparents, it seems. During this time, Detective Oakleaf advised me that she spoke with Kayla Rekieta regarding giving a statement, at which time Kayla advised that she wanted to have an attorney. Detective Sergeant Brannis attempted to take a statement from April Imholt. After reading her Miranda warning, she indicated she wanted an attorney. Deputies continued to search her. At least they did good not talking to the cops. That's always in your favor. Detectives continued to search the residence, and the above listed physical evidence was located and taken into custody of the KC Sheriff's Office. Arrangements were made that the grandparents were going to secure the residence. We were able to close the door, and we documented the damage to the door. So they was able to close the door even though they rammed it open, and the grandparents were supposed to come secure it so it wasn't left open for, somebody to squat in or whatever. All officers left the scene at approximately 11:05 in the morning. I traveled back to KC Law Enforcement Center, where the above listed evidence was processed and placed into the KC evidence system. I went to the KC jail and requested Nicholas Rekieta to speak with me. He indicated he was willing to do so. I brought him into an interview room with the KC Law Enforcement Center. He was again read his Miranda warning. He agreed to speak with us and waived his right to counsel. During the conversation, he refused to answer any questions regarding any cocaine use or any controlled substances use. He advised me that he resides within the residence and stays in the master bedroom with his wife, Kayla, where he sleeps. He indicated April. Again, he's only about saving April. Him and Kayla are going to go down for it. Save April. Save her. The fuck? He's just lying to police when she says she doesn't live there. She's been living there for months. He indicated that April was just a friend and was visiting for the day and does not live at the residence. He explained that he is extremely stressed out in regards to his 5 kids and their extra activities. Please see audio recording for further details. He blames it on his fucking kids and their activities. Not the fact that he called a guy a pedo and he's getting sued for it. Not the fact that he keeps fucking cussing out the judges and none of them fucking like him. Not his fucking stream where he's destroying himself and any type of reputation he may have had, especially as a lawyer. I've seen his stream. I wouldn't fucking hire him. It's the kids and that, you know, they got ball practice and stuff, guys. Dance. That's crazy to blame it on the kids. I was advised after this interview that the DCS had contact with Kayla Ricada requesting their live-in nanny. I was advised after this interview that the DCS had contacted Kayla Ricada requesting if their live-in nanny, the Bitson lady, would be able to assist with anything at the residence. So they called and said, hey, would you like your nanny to do anything at the residence? CPS was advised by Kayla that technically April M. Holtz is their live-in nanny now. So Nick says she's just a friend. She doesn't live here. She was just visiting for today. She never stays overnight. She just, this one day she was there. And then his wife says, oh, that's our new nanny. April M. Holt, that's our new nanny. Don't worry about it. That other nanny, we fired her. We got a new nanny. Can't make it up. I provided the Ricadas a copy of a law enforcement hold order for each of their children and placed in with their jail property. End of report. That was from Quinn Pomplin, the detective. There's more. There's another account. On 5/23/24, I, Sergeant Nestor of the KC Sheriff's Office, assisted in a drug search warrant. While en route to the search warrant, I was advised by Detective Pomplin to stop a motor vehicle that the person of interest regarding the search warrant was on. Nicholas Ricada. He was driving a black Lincoln bearing Minnesota license plate blank. I stopped the motor vehicle at County Road 10 and 51st Street Northeast at 0914 hours. 9:14 in the morning. The driver was identified as Nicholas Ricada. I advised Nicholas about the warrant and search of his person. At that time, Chief Deputy Bauman was with me. Nick was advised that the warrant was signed by a judge. His response was, quote, "That doesn't mean shit." So they said, we got a warrant, and they're like, oh, is it signed? Yeah, by the judge. That doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean shit. And wanted the probable cause for the warrant. While conversing about this topic, Detective Pomplin was asking for a door code so they did not have to breach the door at his residence. Nick advised me that, quote, he was not giving me shit as he hadn't seen the warrant. I advised Detective Pomplin we did not get a door code. That's a negative. It's a big negative there. I checked Nick Ricada's person. He was wearing flip-flops, shorts, and a shirt. He had ID, credit card in a wallet. At the time, he went back into his vehicle, which also had his daughter. So one of the kids was with him, and the oldest wasn't in the house. He went back to the residence, and I assisted at the scene, standing near Nick Rekieta and Kayla Rekieta and April Hemholt and the Rekieta's 4 children. Again, the oldest is not named. While assisting and keeping the 4 children occupied outside the residence, one of the kids, when asked about getting clothes, asked if she could have new clothes, as she made reference to the fact that she has been wearing those clothes for more than a couple days. So this one, how old is this one? The 7-year-old. Well, not quite. The 6-year-old. It should be 7 this year. The 6-year-old asked if she could have some new clothes because she's been wearing those clothes for several days. I asked to transport Kayla to the KC jail. I advised her that she had been placed under arrest. I placed restraints in front of her, checked for tightness, double locked, and adjusted. I think that's where that one cuts off, isn't it? Yes. And adjusted the cuffs. I think that's where that one cuts off. And I don't think they gave any more. Can you imagine the 6-year-old being like, hey, I don't know. Everybody's making fun in the comments that they're asking to remain anonymous, and they give all their details, then just put in italics, request to remain anonymous. I don't know why I can't speak tonight. This is their nanny, supposedly. There's a couple pictures of her. So here's one. This was their former nanny that they fired, I guess. I don't know if they were trying to do something with her or not. But she looks younger than them. And she's female, so. What else? There was something from, okay, source, Kiwi Farms threads. Let's go to the Kiwi's Farm thread. Yeah, I couldn't imagine the kid saying, can I have new clothes? Because, I don't know. I've been wearing these for several days. Jesus, imagine being a little kid and asking cops who broke down your door if you can get some clean clothes, please. Someone put. Oh, no. Who are these messages from? Oh, no. Somebody leaked his private messages, guys. So I'm going to read some Rekieta Law private messages leaked. Here we go. It starts out and says, cool. I'm literally talking about a bullshit neglect report from a specifically vindictive person that is. So there was the reason that I know these are true is because there was a guy doing a stream today saying Nick's in a group chat talking all kinds of crazy shit, stuff that could be used in court. He needs to stop. What are you doing, Nick? Stop it. Stop doing this. Somebody's going to leak it. There's 50 people in this group chat. Stop. And the guy kept going, so. Cool, I'm literally talking about a bullshit neglect report from a specifically vindictive person that is quite literally the opposite of the truth. I'm not talking about anything else at all. I'm not saying anything else here. Talk to me in DMs. Now, that right there was exactly the message that the YouTuber referenced when he was talking about it. Oh, and no guns were ever discharged in this home. I don't even own a 22. Well, they said that the discharged 22 round, they didn't say you shot it in the house. They said they found a spent shell casing discharged, and it was on the floor of the nightstand. So it was in the bottom drawer. Now, I've gone to the range before and ended up with brass in my pocket, and then when I empty the change out or something, there'll be live rounds and shot rounds or whatever, and They get lost. There's probably multiple drawers right now in the camper that has 22 ammo in it. It's just 22 ammo is just easy, but there you go. I haven't fired any of my guns since moving from my other home to here. Been about 5 years, and all of them were locked. Handguns in a safe. AR had a lock through the receiver. My dad was helping with the driving the other day for our kids' education extracurricular activities. He tallied it up 80 miles a day on average. So again, he's blaming his kids. I have to drive them 80 miles on average, and I'm an insomniac, so I have to live stream till 5 a.m., and then I get up at 7 and start driving around. I don't care what people think about almost anything. The kid shit is bullshit. I'm pretty sure I know who reported that, and they have specific animus toward me. The first activity I missed for my kids was the day I was in jail. Okay, but if they're smelly and asking to be fed, it's not like one person went after you, Nick. 4 separate people at 4 separate times reported this shit. Even the cop said the 6-year-old asked, "Can I have clean clothes, please, Mr. Police Officer?" I hate seeing these excuses. So here's right now, this is what this tells me is he's not getting clean. If he's not just like, look, I fucked up. I need help. I need to go to rehab. He's just going to be doing coke. He's probably doing coke right now. Shockingly, not pulled over, no cited for a DUI ever, never even questioned for DUI ever. Anyway, whatever issues exist for me, and I'm not admitting to shit during my case, obviously, I figured a friend of mine would maybe realize that my children have never been neglected or in danger, but I guess that small courtesy is too much. Someone said, is that driving blasted out of your mind like the report says? No, you fucking idiot. No one sees me drive. That was one of the people reported him, said he looked like he was maybe high or drunk driving around. The other person says, I know it's hard to see someone when they are driving 88 miles per hour 4 hours after a bender. And then he says, again, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you referring to a speeding ticket? Do you know what track marks are, you retard? I've never done an IV drug in my life. The person says, you're doing cocaine at 8 a.m. with your kids watching cartoons in the living room. Nick says, what the fuck are you talking about? 8 a.m., homie? I'm usually driving home at 8 a.m., about to go to sleep. These are not going to look good. If you think my kids ever went hungry or were neglected, kill yourself. The person says, I don't know what to believe. You've become a junkie, and they're not the most honest people out there. Nick responds, I've been on stream with you where you were too intoxicated to read super chats for hours. I never thought your kids went hungry. The person responded and said, I stopped that because it was getting bad. You need to admit you have a problem. Nick says, become a junkie? Wow. All right. Thanks, Flash. And then the third one repeats 3 times for some reason. The same message repeats 3 times. The very end. That YouTuber said somebody's going to leak these, and I'll be damned if they didn't. I'll be damned if they didn't. Let's see. This is the one that was stitched together, which is missing the bottom. Oh, no, this is the full thing stitched together, but it's still missing the bottom, right? Yeah, I transported Titanus double lock. That's where it still ends. Okay, so that one's not new. This is a nanny. I refuse to believe that there are many chicks in Minnesota with that name. Yeah, it is kind of a weird name. No child should ask the cop about clean clothes. Fuck Ricada. The bar is the totality of circumstances would lead a reasonable person to believe X, according to Illinois versus Gates in 1983, much less than beyond reasonable doubt or a preponderance of evidence. This is for probable cause. So for probable cause, it's the totality of circumstances and evidence. That's way lower than like when you go to court to be convicted of something, when you have to have beyond reasonable doubt or a preponderance of evidence if it's like a civil case. The totality of circumstances is not that hard. It's nowhere near as hard to get a search warrant as it is to convict somebody. Because he's gonna try to say this. So if for some reason he was able to get this search warrant thrown the fuck out, all these charges will probably be dropped. If the search warrant was illegal, that's a stripper. I refuse to believe that's a nanny. Please, Nick, for the love of corn, take this to trial so your former stripper nanny testifies. Please, Nick. I want your former stripper nanny to testify. Kiwi Farms is pretty wild, just so you know. Most interesting thing I see here is the point about someone believing that my youngest kids are not being homeschooled. Not sure who would know that or how, Aaron, but definitely not good legally or morally. Is this Nick? I love how so many people wanted to stay anonymous, but the cops from Podunk PD just fuck it all up. Also note that the nanny who quit when the household started turning into a coke-fueled fuck den had been with them for 4 or 5 years. That's most of the younger kids' lives and half to a third of the older kids' lives. This shit is traumatic in itself. The one rock they could count on during the tumultuous last year suddenly disappeared, and she was replaced with a coked up mess who did obviously inappropriate things with dad while mom was pilled out. Or the raid itself. Imagine being a little kid and suddenly strangers start knocking on the door and there are no adults to open it or tell you it's all right because dad went to get more blow and mom and new mom are up in the bedroom that they told you you're not allowed to go to. I'm thinking it's probably a blessing that 2 of the kids were not homeschooled, because imagine the looks of pity and disgust that the older kids got when they showed up in school in their dirty clothes and yesterday's empty lunchbox. Damn. So someone said the Nick test or the reagent test. So if that would have been if the brown powder would have been heroin or MDA or something, it would have tested positive. Here's a chart of what they can detect for. Yeah, it could be kratom, maybe. Brown is like gunpowder and coke. Let's see. Do the police have an obligation to keep these people anonymous? This is the second person named so far who is noted wanting to remain anonymous. Is this a fuck up leaked by the police, or do they just not care about anonymizing the names of these witnesses and children? The short answer is no. There may be a longer answer involving unusual circumstances, CIs, federal squirrel shit, etc., but generally any request to remain anonymous is just that, and someone probably shouldn't expect it to work if a case gets built. One issue is that stuff can't be held back from the defense in most cases, and much ends up as public record via the courts or potentially state freedom of information requests anyways, except as specifically redacted by statute, typically minors and sometimes sexual assault victims. We've already seen copes that it's all just third-hand gossip from one vindictive person and shit like that. And if the people don't have actual identities as sources, it might as well be. So if you really want to be anonymous, you can just report without giving your name, but the police are much less able to act on that. The other issue might be that the departments in question might never get any third parties, except maybe the occasional journalist, requesting stuff and didn't build much of a system to deal with it. So now maybe the little old lady in the records is defaulting to just copying and sending out whatever some random internet shit poster asks for without much review. I hope they are careful when it comes to cameras since there are kids involved. Yeah, surely if they release the body cam, they'll have the kids blurred. I'm going to go all the way to the end of this and see what's up. See if anybody else has added anything to it at the end of this thread. There's 62 pages. I can't read them all, even though I'd like to, very dramatically. Establishing a high degree of public interest. The petition to demonstrate public interest in Rekida's omnibus hearing, which will be August. If you'd like to sign, it would be added to a motion sent to the court. If you are an attorney who wants to sign an affidavit, please get in touch with me. And it says that these cases can be made public when the public interest is having the case tried rather than deposed of by a guilty plea. And someone said, well played. The warrant meets the super low bar to get a search warrant unless you can prove the cops and judges acted out of animus and in a way of reasonable. Even if Nick wants to get the warrant thrown out because that's like his Hail Mary, right? Anything found when they were serving that warrant just goes away. It just disappears. It doesn't exist. That's his Hail Mary to still be a fucking crackhead, right? The problem is, even if this was a crazy, vindictive liar who somehow was able to morph into 4 different people and report this, it was still reported and the police didn't do anything wrong with it, right? So even if the original 4 reporters was the same person and they were lying and it was reported and the police took it in good faith and they didn't know that it was a lie, they still acted within their bounds, right? As long as they didn't know that it was bullshit, or the police are like, we don't have enough, but we'll just go anyways. Some shit like that. It doesn't matter. If there is cocaine in your house, unless they can prove the cops or judge acted in animus and in a way a reasonable officer or judge wouldn't, you're not throwing shit out. And well, then you have to deal with, why was the cocaine in your house, Nick? If it wasn't yours, who put it there? If there is cocaine in your house, you are constructively in possession of it. Saying it was someone else's does not fucking work. He willingly waived his rights before talking and lying to the cops just to protect April. Since April's position is someone did this to me, I don't think this protection is going to be reciprocated. Can he write off his $5,000 bond as a business expense? Fuck no. Are you kidding? Imagine how many functioning alcoholics would write off a bond as a business work expense if that became a thing. Somebody should probably start archiving everything from their Cato Law channel. It'll be wiped ASAP. Only if Nick is sober enough to take a competent legal advice. He has to be sober enough to listen to somebody telling him to wipe it. What's Nick's life looking like after this? I'm insanely curious. There's no way he'll be involved with law again, right? He'll be appearing in front of every judge in the state, sometimes as an attorney. So he'll have to, apparently there's like rehab programs for lawyers where they can't practice. They have to go to like a rehab thing. Someone else told me about that. There's like lawyer-specific like rehab things they go through with the state. They go to a rehab center, but there's like this program they complete to get their license back or whatever. Sean said earlier that the bond company can impose rules independent of the court. True. So this unconditional release is just to relax conditions. He probably can drink and do drugs, but can't, or rather shouldn't, leave state without their permission. Bond companies usually set up their own standards and practices depending on the severity of the case. Hell, some places let you trade deeds or cars if you can't shore up cash. Don't forget, Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog the Bounty Hunter, set up his grift and business to do so, even hunted down anyone who thought they could run off on his dime. Yeah, sometimes a bond company can sometimes put an ankle bracelet, an ankle monitor on you as part of the conditions that the court didn't even order, right? But they're afraid you're a flight risk. Even if the court didn't say it, they can do it. They can impose their own rules, but they are in addition to, not a replacement of the court rules. True. They still have to follow all the court rules, but they can add more to them. Those are the conditional RPR release conditions. There was unconditional release on posting a $50K bond, which still includes remain lawful, but that's it. If bonded, no conditions. But what everyone keeps overlooking, and I'm assuming Nick as well, because why piss away $5K? CPS will most likely impose no drinking, drug use, and do tests if he wants to see and or get his kids back. He'll fuck it up. You're grossly incorrect. Witness reports plus live streams plus officer being an expert on coked out people. That together makes probable cause. Okay. Since the search warrant relies primarily on witness reports and uses live streams and social media posts as corroborating these reports, revealing the identities of all the people involved was necessary to ensure evidence gathered during the search couldn't be thrown out on account of it being a fishing expedition. Nick lying about April's status in the home will be brought up if it goes to trial to show that he was willing and able to lie. It's something that served very little purpose and only hurt him. You'd think a lawyer would know better than to speak. Like, he didn't even have to say that about April. He could have just said, I don't answer questions, right? But he went above and beyond to specifically lie that she didn't live there while she was living there. You think a lawyer would know better than to speak with the police, but apparently you lose this knowledge when you're non-practicing. Someone said, I agree, but one, it would be really easy to prove Nick lies anyways. Remember, his whole life has been autistically documented online for years. Two, he's got no chance at trial anyways. A jury will see that body cam footage with a little girl asking police for clothes. That'll be it. That'll be the final nail in his coffin when a 6-year-old says, Mr. Police Officer, can I please have some clean clothes? That'll be it, dude. You're cooked, dude. Can he write off $5,000 bond as a business expense? It's been quite a few years since I had my AAA policy, American Auto Association. And I remember being surprised that not only would they come and tow my car, they would pay certain bail bonds as long as they weren't for a DUI or hit and run type deal. I think I discovered that there were other types of insurance that would pay bail also, maybe homeowners. Okay, there's one more page. I guess I didn't get to the last page. It's blowing up quicker than I can read it. If he wrecks his Mustang speeding while drunk, does he enjoy prison until the omnibus hearing? I feel like a monumental F-slur for asking this, but I've seen it referenced a few times in the thread. But that one thread, that one of Ricada's kids asked one of the officers for about clothes. I've read through the substantial documents, and I don't remember seeing it. Anyone? Yeah, what an idiot. I hate when people don't read, like, the fucking shit in the thread to begin with. This is just crazy, dude. Oh, my God. This isn't a stock character, is it? Is this a stock asset from, like, Grand Theft Auto or something? What is this picture? Because look how much it looks like this picture of Nicky Rackets. Did GTA predict this? This video claims he's reporting the same super chat 9 times with 9 different answers. Let's see if we can watch this. Hold on. GTA predicts everything like The Simpsons.
Anime sucks. Copenstein.
Oh no! No! Nick, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't click the link to the 4chan auto board! Don't do it, Nick!
Okay, Law, show this on stream and critique it, please. Let me see it.
God, he's so fucked up.
He's opening.
No!
Oh no!
Barracuda says,
Oh
"What's
no,
the
we got him!"
Bikini charge. You guys wanted to be. I don't do sub goals. I don't do grifting. This is an average black woman on an average day.
The guy with a trust fund his whole life is like, I don't do grifting. I don't even want your money. Just send it to me. I don't want it popping up.
Trex calls them German shippers for a reason.
He's staring at it. He's like intensely evaluating this.
Where is this shit?
One eye closed. Focus.
Come up all the way. What the
So
fuck
when
is that?
you're drunk and on coke, you don't get as many of the like coke like things going on. Instead, it just helps you stay awake and drink more, right?
This is a bad last thing to see before passing out.
Anime sucks. Cope and Steve says Ricada Law.
Okay,
Just on stream and to critique it based on.
okay, he's looped in. Now he's got the link on the 4chan auto board.
He's looping.
Baker says it's gonna be
That's the second time he's read the same super chat.
Meatsfin, isn't it? Jim, I've gone 15 cycles on Meatsfin. I don't see the problem. Tell us your recent fetish. Recent fetish? Okay, I don't know how to describe this. Recent fetish is literally just someone super chatting me over and over and over while I jerk off into the Google CEO's mouth. Take only 30%, fucker. Spill the rest of your corpse's feet.
Open the link
The
from
guy.
the anime.
Spill the rest of your corpse's feet.
Sucks, weirdo.
Carolina or whatever. I killed you and your son.
He's trying to drink the
I
microphone.
wonder why he got banned from YouTube. That's weird.
I would
Seems completely fine to me.
perhaps become interesting. No, they never did.
So when he started slipping in this spiral, I used to watch Nick Rekieta, and some people in chat used to watch Nick Rekieta. When he started getting this bad, his fan base was replaced with the Kiwi Farms people that were just there to make him look retarded and troll him and get him pissed off, basically.
Open the link.
It's fine. Look that bad. It's okay.
Open the link.
The body needs to shut down. It needs to act up. Verosoft says, Nick, you really need to consider to stop. No. I need to consider to keep going forward. Nick, you really need to consider to stop. No, 2,600 people still.
He just read that. He just read that. He read that exact message twice, one after the other, in the span of 30 seconds, and he doesn't fucking know.
Good. Guys, you want me to watch a trial? I'm looking for one. That's it.
No, I want you to open the link.
Tina Trinity 420 says, upper still in him. That's keeping him up. He didn't do a very good job. I literally fell asleep on stream. How dare I?
Oh, is he going to lie and pretend that he doesn't do uppers? Whoa.
Oh, the uppers are not keeping him awake very good. He fell asleep once.
I'm sorry, this is kind of like a weird throwback, but like Amberlynn Reed, back in the day when I talked about her a lot, she would lie about little stuff for literally no reason. Like she would just lie about the dumbest shit possible, to the amusement of nobody except herself, and everybody would know that she's lying, but she would just do it anyways. Like for instance, with dieting stuff, she's 600 pounds, but she's saying like, I eat 300 calories a day to eat, and I've only gained weight. Like I know you're fucking lying because you're 600 pounds. If you're eating 300 calories a day, you'd be 500 pounds in a month. But she would just lie because she derived enjoyment from lying. And I'm really at a point where it's like, is Rekieta just like derived?
Yeah, Bug Dude is one of them. I fell off. I could tell something had changed. I didn't enjoy watching it anymore. Most of the people that when we first covered this were like, I used to watch him. It was all used to watch him. His fan base was replaced with fucking trolls or whatever you want to call them.
Pleasure from like
well, when he's sober, he did legal analysis of trending cases. So if you don't know, I've even had some big shows like going over like cases that were going on because everybody was talking about them, especially when COVID, we were all locked up and we had these big cases going on. Everything fucking, you could get a lot of viewers just because you were covering the case. People wanted to see what you were saying.
Like just lying, even if it doesn't like deceive anybody, he just enjoys lying. Like it has like the opposite reaction of like what it does in most people. Most people get like anxiety when they lie, but it really feels like he just enjoys it.
How dare I? Guys, let me tell you this, because this is Nick respond to Kino Casino streams? No. Oh my God. You look fucking 80. Yes. You should see me when I run a 5K and finish it. Where's Nick's comfy office chair?
Oh, is that his clapback? I'm not
sitting
eating because I can do a
it's not so
5K.
comfy anymore. And why? Because my bones poke through my asshole. By all accounts, his wife is peeled out.
That bones poke through my asshole thing, he might
By all accounts, his wife is peeled out.
be referring to like really anorexic people. When you're like super anorexic, your butt cheeks no longer cover your butthole, and he's so thin now from like his like failing liver that doesn't allow him to process fat anymore that he might have that like anorexic anus that just pokes out all the time.
Been watching Star Wars all day. Deserve each other. Whose account is that? I meet that person. They seem cool. Tina Trinity 420. He could get better. We should say AA or another recovery program. Yeah, I could. It'd be great. You guys would love it. Meth Up Samurai says, Nick, have another drink. You earned it.
Oh my God, he's gonna do it.
So the people hate him and want to see him fail spectacularly, and they think it's funny. So they talk him into drinking more, doing more, whatever they think's going on.
And Ola says, this is a good impression of an online personality trying to self-destruct. You're nailing it. Yes. You should figure it out. I'll be what you need, guys. Space Alien says there's a big trial with a former president. If you were sober, you do a good job with that. You can't actually. Isn't stream of the trial. They outlawed all photography and outlawed all videography. You can't trial stream it at all.
Fun fact, I know somebody, I'm not going to name names, who's currently litigating in the New York courtroom or courthouse that the trial's going on. And that person, whoever it may be, says it's a fucking circus up there right now with all the media there to see Trump. Just a fun aside.
Okay. Nice come over, Nick. Yes, it's good. What I do with it is I cover your mom's failures. She's a bunch of semen. I don't know why, but I like it in my hair. Cohen is
on the internet. Curious. You mentioned Trump one time and you're suddenly disconnectory node from the whole internet. Interesting chat. Interesting.
Rackets looks like drug addicted Macaulay Culkin.
Okay, cool. Refresh Reno. I think we're all set. Every chat's ready. I'll count to 10. Can I get like a song going? Do. In case you're wondering, the time that we were disconnected, Ricada said nothing of value or nothing of interest. I hope that helps. All right. Hope everybody refreshing that back in. Let's continue. Those who have to catch up later, you're not going to miss
You
anything.
normally say that about kids getting naked. And
that's a brilliant line to
says,
come
nobody
up.
escapes.
Is that Koya Dante guy still counting?
I was right about the bell, by the way. Even though all those other fucking lawyers are like, "What's that mean? What's this mean? I was the one who's fucking right about it. If he does the $50,000 cash, he has no restrictions except to remain lawful. Don't get pulled over or arrested or you violate. If he doesn't remain lawful, then they have all the other stuff and the drug tests and the showing up and the house checks and all that shit. If he does bail through it or a bond through like a bondsman.
Out. And what the fuck is that? Mount Anna, Ontario. I couldn't read the letters.
He had to like press his nose against his computer to read it.
They're like, oh, wrestlers are fine. You can be not Mexican, but Spanish. The ones who are going to crash into a continent. You're like, whoa, this isn't a continent we're looking for. They're like, no, we're not. We're going to put you on heads and chop your bodies open. They're like, no, don't do that. Here's some coof blankets. And they killed them with disease. Smart. Very smart. And then.
White people win again, baby.
Anime. Anime sucks.
Yes. Yes.
Kelp.
Open.
Kelp and seed.
He can't even read the name. He's read it 3 fucking times.
Show on the stream and critique, please. All right, whatever. Let's check.
He read it again. He keeps reading the same super chat over and over again. Show this on the stream and critique it.
Why do I care though? I don't.
Evil Eddie.
Yeah, you can support this stream by going to coldbeer.fun. Coldbeer.fun, make a contribution to the show. Keep it going. 7 nights a week right now, but we'll see.
Oh my goodness. Here's a disgusting point of interest. Here's see like this. It's okay.
He's still looking at the dragon farting and eating pizza.
I can't get the fats on screen. That's what we're gonna do. Are you streaming tomorrow? Yes, that's the plan. At least at night, if not during the day, and also at night. What I'll do though is I'll find Marco Randazza and I'll nail him to a cross. Does it matter what cross? No. Even if it's the light cross, I'll nail him there. Be like, by the way, your beard is retarded. It's a lesbian woman from my mom. You'll say that and send us away. Let's see. Holy shit. Anime sucks cope. And Sneed says, okay, law. I want to share this on stream. Make Cantini is praised.
Did he
Why
send
would
in
you do this? Why now?
Did he send in another super chat? Is this the same one he's looping? Does he not remember the farting dragon? Or is this like a second super chat?
No, he's reading the same one over and over again.
Okay, this is where he masturbates.
Why is my camera so on? I'm trying to shut the show down. I'm like, oh, we'll play the credits. No. What we'll do is we'll sit here. Guys.
Okay, so the guy sent in the one super chat. He read it twice. Saw the farting purple dragon, gave 2 completely different responses. The first one was the very reasonable, this is disgusting, and he moved on. The second one, he like pantomimes masturbating to it. And the thing is that because he didn't explain what the image is, it just looks like he's masturbating on stream like DSP. Like, nobody knows what the image is unless they've opened it. Unless you've been Pavlov conditioned by the words anime sucks, cope, and sneed to know that a farting purple dragon eating pizza inside of a car on the 4chan automotive board is about to follow. You have no fucking idea what he's doing at that point in time. It just looks like he's jerking off for no reason on stream because he forgot about it. Like, his behavior is not out of place.
Here's the credits.
By the way, that is probably, unironically, Ricada doing that was probably sexually arousing to that weirdo who does the dragon pictures. Like, that probably was like a goon eruption. That was like Mount Olympia exploding in terms of like goon payoff because he's been doing this shit for years.
Your guy makes drunk. Yes. Cool. I'll do it at your kid's family thing or whatever. Or would you hire me as a babysitter? Don't. You should hire me though. As an asshole. An asshole. Here I am. Anime. Anime sucks, kelp, and or sneeze since the law. Shut this on stream. Usually is. I don't know what that is. Fuck off. I'm going to degenerate Japanese shit my aircon because I can't state it.
3 completely different responses to the same.
Jesus Christ, he's out of it, ain't he?
That is unreal.
Anime cuck. That's cups and head sneezes. I stream.
So if you don't know, I guess Josh Moon, who is like the guy that like runs Kiwi Farms, he's like the what you would call like the owner of Kiwi Farms. He is not a fan of Ricada. That's why Ricada hates Kiwi Farms or whatever, and he blames them for like all of his troubles and failures and shit. Anyways, apparently he claims that he had someone investigate like into Nick, someone that's close to Nick, investigate into Nick about this whole trust fund thing. Now, Aaron said the trust fund was true, and Aaron was fucking his wife, and he was fucking Aaron's wife, so they seem pretty close. But Josh Moon said that the trust fund thing wasn't true, or he found out through research with a guy, said his shit wasn't true, and that he was actually just living off the money that he made, like Johnny Depp. Like someone said the other day, he made like $1.3 million of super chats 1 year. That's a lot of money.
He's reading it a fourth time. He's looking at it again.
All right, Evelyn says, Trent, would you like to know what your favorite food about the pie is?
You know, Ricada probably woke up the next morning and he thought, you know, that stream wasn't so bad. And then he looked at his computer and just saw that he had 4 tabs open to the same insanely disgusting picture of a dragon farting and eating pizza inside a car, and thought, I can't fucking believe I jerked off to this last night. What the fuck is wrong with me? And that's why
like
he's
5 fucking times.
sabbatical. He's embarrassed. He didn't.
Right, here we go. He can't read. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, my chemistry is more Obama levels.
He can't read anything. He's struggling, boys.
Something like that. Nick, we need 1 more hour. Let's cover the latest news in Trump trial.
1 more hour. Just 1 more hour,
Be
Nick.
drunk like this tomorrow, every day.
Need 1 more hour.
Who cares, guys? The reality is that you have 2 options in this world. Either realize what people do to you.
Dude, I wouldn't ask him for, if they really enjoyed him and liked him and were like viewing him for that reason, I wouldn't ask him for another 30 minutes. 3 minutes. They would be telling him to go to fuck to bed, right? Like this is too much.
Or you do the same thing to them. I don't do the second thing. I realize what people do to me. You can't stop it.
Yeah, that anime sex guy has been doing this for like
Anime
2 years.
sex
Oh,
covers
no,
uses
no
raw
fucking way.
of the
No
show,
way.
Stream and peeing.
No fucking way. Is he doing it a 5th time?
Woo.
He doesn't remember.
Warlock says, inside of you, there are 2 wolves, mostly because you have double vision and would probably do the same thing.
Unfucking believable.
Same thing every time.
She says, Nick, fuck, huh? Happily inebriated. And he says,
Like the dragon farting is like, it's like he's in like a 30-second long Groundhog Day, and like the dragon farting picture is like waking him up from the Groundhog Day, and then it restarts again, and he's just hopelessly enslaved in this cycle of anime sex company.
I'm fucked up too, Nicky boy. I think this good. Nick,
The same shit over and over again.
Word in CP.
Yeah, it's like Travis Stream, but without the crack trailer and the fucking blinds you keep peeking through to see if the fucking law is coming to bust your meth lab.
Tonight. Love you, bro. I fucked up too. I had to say those things. Here we
Bro,
go.
it is literally an AI generated image of a purple dragon who is like 800 pounds in the seat of a car, farting noxious green gas and eating pizza. It is the same fucking image over and over and over again. The same fucking image, and he sends it like 10 times per stream, and it never fucking changes, except that he just regenerates it. So it's basically the same image, but slightly different. You don't need to go see it. It's really gross. I don't understand what the fuck the point is. And sometimes he makes its shirt say different words. Like, that's it. But yeah, he's been literally staring at a picture of furry fart porn for 10 minutes. And despite how profoundly disgusting this image is, he still forgets that when he opens the link, it will be the same fucking dragon farting.
He's already passed out multiple times on the live stream.
Press your face all over. I'm going to say the N word over and over. I don't know. Find something out. What I want to do is go to bed.
Then go to bed, dude. No one's forcing you to stay here.
What's that super chat from Anime Sex?
Bye, guys. Look,
Anime sucks Cope and Sneed in my chat says that's not what that one was. This one was a hyperinflation of a green dragon in a laboratory. Was she farting? What was she doing? Bro, it's base. It's not gross. Dude. I'm waiting. I need you. It's literally high.
Oh, no. 5 hours ago, Nick Ricada has posted bail through Absolute Bail Bonds, Inc. in Minneapolis. As of this moment, there is no bail posted for Kayla Ricada found online at any of the file locations. Trouble in Paradise, maybe? No. Are you telling me that he bailed himself out and not his wife?
Test. So is it just hyperinflation in the laboratory? Is there anything else to this? Did you tailor it to the specific situation, or did you just fire this one shot into it? You have the stage, sir. I'm giving you a chance. Is even someone beat you to it? Okay, I don't see a reply. I don't know. Did the image get captured? Did someone like? Here, this is a link in the chat. What is the image? Requested page could not be found because the link is cut off. That's why. There's another link that I saw, but I don't know if I'll be able to find that. I don't know. I don't want to spend any more time dwelling on this, but it's usually the same fucking image over and over again.
people want you to be responsible on the internet. They want you to get on a live stream, tell you to do whatever. But they love when you're honest.
I will pull it up on stream. I will not show it, but I will. Wait, someone else sent in the link. Hold on.
I don't think,
only,
like, not many people watch me. I'm not like a Nick streamer, but if I was like this fucked up, would anybody watch me?
Tell me the number. The link is getting cut off. Just send me the fucking number of the thread ID, and then I can pull it up. This thread does not have the image in it, so I can't review it. Just a famous, but you have to just give me the number at the end, and I can just change the number. The number is the thing that's getting cut off. It's after the period.
All right, I'm out. Nick Ricada, everybody. The man, the myth, the legend. You didn't know you could bail yourself out? Yeah, all the time. Depends on if you have credit and the money and shit like that, but yeah. You're signing the bail. A lot of people get other people to bail them out because they don't have the fucking 10% on them. They don't have the money, the cash or whatever. But he's probably got friends around it, I would assume, since he's sort of a lawyer, kind of a lawyer. We got new documents. Are you ready? Are you ready? El Jefe from El Jefe's Law, APC. Superior Court of the State of California, Los Angeles County, Southwest District. First amendment complaint for intentional infliction of emotional distress, private nuisance, libel per se, false lot, public disclosure of private facts. Plaintiff Pebbles hereby alleges as follows. Pebbles is an individual and is a resident of Los Angeles County. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that defendant, Phil Godlewski, is an individual and is a resident of Pennsylvania. The defendants named herein as does 1 through 500 inclusive are unknown to Pebbles, who therefore sues such doe defendants by such fictitious names pursuant to Section 474 of the Code of Civil Procedure. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that each fictitiously named doe defendant is in some manner, means, or degree responsible for the events and happenings herein alleged. Pebbles will amend the complaint to assert true names and capacities of the fictitiously designed doe defendants when the same have been ascertained. The fictitiously designed doe defendants are specifically named defendants conspired or otherwise aided and abetted each other to perform the acts alleged herein. In particular, all defendants conspired and otherwise aided, abetted each to violate plaintiff's rights and to damage plaintiffs as alleged herein. At all times relevant, defendants acted intentionally, maliciously, oppressively, and or fraudulently within the meaning of the Civil Code, Section 3295, warranting the award of exemplary damages in a sum to be set by the trier of fact sufficient to punish and set an example of defendants and each of them. Here we go. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that does 1 through 50 work closely with Godlewski to obtain and disseminate Pebbles' information to the public via the internet and conspired to harm Pebbles. Pebbles is informed and believes thereon alleges that does 51 through 99 are persons who have made physical threats or harm against Pebbles while physically present within Los Angeles County. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that does 100 through 249 are persons who participated in a civil conspiracy with Godlewski to harm Pebbles as to the May 2023 doxing incident described in more detail below. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that does 250 through 300 are responsible for the creation of false image, i.e. the forged FBI memo described in further detail below. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges those 301 through 340 are responsible for providing Godlewski the false image, i.e. forged FBI memo described in further detail below. Pebbles is informed and believes thereon alleges that those 341 through 399 are responsible for republishing Godlewski's social media posts of the false image, the forged FBI memo. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges those 400 through 450 participated in civil conspiracy with Godlewski to defame Pebbles and place her in a false light through the creation of publication and forged FBI memo described in further detail below. Pebbles is informed and believes that thereon alleges those 451 through 50 are corporate alter egos of Godlewski insofar as he attempted to misuse the separate corporate existence of these entities to hide his assets and insulate himself from financial liability for the actions he has taken. So each set of those numbers are for different things. So like some of them helped make the FBI image. Some of them may have helped distribute the FBI image. Some of them are insulating Phil from financial, from his financial ties so he doesn't have to cough them up for damages, right? Pebbles is informed and believes that thereon alleges that each defendant, whether expressly or fictitiously named, in addition to acting for itself, himself, herself, or themselves, and its, his, her, or their individual behalf, was at all times herein mentioned the principal, agent, employee, partner, joint venturer, co-conspirator, representative, or alter ego of some or all of the other defendants, and at times herein mentioned committed such acts or omissions within the course and scope of such agency, servitude, employment, partnership, joint venture, conspiracy, representation, or alter ego relationship with full knowledge, consent, and authority, and or ratification of some or all of the other defendants. So they weren't forced against their will, right? They were of their own free, sound mind, and they were somehow engaged with Phil, whether that was a conspiracy or a joint venture or or his employer or employee, but they were all of their own sound mind. Los Angeles County Superior Court is a proper venue for this matter insofar as the dispute arises from activity occurring and damages occurred within the Los Angeles County, California. Pebbles' injuries arose out of defendants' forum-related activities, doxing and defamatory statements aimed at a resident of Los Angeles County, causing Pebbles to fear for her safety in her home and workplace within Los Angeles County. Pebbles is a hair... By the way, some idiot, these idiots on Telegram, someone literally made a voice memo saying... well, first of all, they said a bunch of stupid shit like Pebbles wouldn't even have a case if it wasn't for us. We did it. We put it together. We did all this. Then they're like, it sucks, but Phil didn't do anything that you can go after him in civil court for. We know that's a lie because the judge already had to rule on the anti-slap motion. And the anti-slap motion basically ruled and said, yeah, this case has some merit. So clearly Phil did do something that can't Whooshy win. Well, that's up to everything else, the evidence, the judge, everything. But you can't say there's no merit, like Phil didn't do anything that he can be held accountable for in court, or the judge would have thrown it out as no merit when he had to rule on the merit of the case. You fucking idiots. This is why we don't allow tweakers and fucking glory hole jockeys to fucking do legal analysis. Pebbles is a hairstylist, and prior to May 2023, Pebbles owned and operated a successful business in Los Angeles County known as Salon Touche. Prior to May 2023, Pebbles' business enjoyed positive reviews on Yelp and Google. Godlewski is a social influencer, posting QAnon-style social media posts with hundreds of thousands of followers. Godlewski is a public figure due to criminal proceedings against him in 2011 arising from Godlewski's guilty plea to corrupting a minor. Godlewski's arrest and guilty plea were covered in the local broadcast and print media. These charges stem from an alleged sexual relationship between the victim, a then 15-year-old, and Godlewski, a then 25-year-old high school baseball coach. In 2021, a Scranton Times Tribune reporter wrote an article about Godlewski entitled QAnon Realtor Sells Rabbit Holes on YouTube. Godlewski filed a defamation lawsuit against Times Tribune and its reporter in 2021. When the victim of Godlewski's crime provided evidence in favor of the Times Tribune, Godlewski filed a lawsuit against his victim. A filmmaker, Nick Alvear, who was totally attracted to some guy, but not like a gay way.
The dreams you have. Some people do it for 30 days. If you do enough 10 days, you're qualified to do a 30-day in India. And I remember I came on maybe my fourth one, and there was a guy who was there, and his eyes were just so light, like light was.
You got beautiful eyes, bro. You guys not remember this? Gulp. You got beautiful eyes, bro. Gulp.
And his eyes were just so light, like light was coming out of them. I was so attracted to this guy, and not in a gay way, but like I was just like,
I'll suck your dick, but I'll totally won't enjoy it way.
whoa, what's up with that guy? And I asked him, I said, yo,
Whoa. Put your meat down my throat cylinder. How about that guy? Not in a gay way, dude. Not in a gay way. A filmmaker, Nick Alvear, produced a documentary entitled The Greatest Fraud on Earth. The Phil Godlewski story. Godlewski has filed defamation action against Alvear. Godlewski's activities as a QAnon and social influencer and his criminal and civil proceedings have been the subject of articles by the Daily Beast, the Rolling Stones magazine, and other periodicals. Prior to May 6, 2023, Godlewski and Pebbles had no interactions or communications. Zero. On May 6, 2023, defendant posted to Godlewski's social media followers a finger-pointing emoji, a bomb emoji, and a sunglasses emoji, along with Pebbles' address, phone number, and other identifying information. A copy of that post is set here before. They had zero interaction before, and he posts her fucking salon. Following defendant's post, Pebbles reached out to Godlewski in a private email exchange to inquire why he had doxed Pebbles. The May 6, 2023 post was a surprise to Pebbles. In the course of the private email exchange, Pebbles brought up the sexual misconduct allegations against Godlewski that were the subject of the early criminal prosecution and the defamation lawsuit against the Scranton Times Tribune. On May 7, 2023, defendants posted to Godlewski's social media followers A, a copy of the foregoing private email exchange Godlewski had with Pebbles. B, an image of Pebbles' then 5.0 rating on Google for Salon Touche. And C, the following words. So this is how the owner of the salon speaks to people she doesn't know. I wouldn't want to do business with this person, would you? Over 2,000 Godlewski social media followers interacted with the post through likes and use of other approving emojis. Godlewski invited his followers to make negative customer reviews of Pebbles' business, even if Godlewski's followers had never been a customer of Pebbles. In a video posted about his intentions, Godlewski announced his intent to inflict harm and turn Pebbles' business into a taco stand. After his initial post, Godlewski made a follow-up encouraging his followers to harass Pebbles further. On May 7th, 2023, Pebbles sent an email to Godlewski asking why he published her salon information online, and Godlewski responded by stating, "You don't intimidate me. Your arrest is coming soon. I will own your salon within a year." This is the crazy shit Phil does. Like, this is the crazy shit. What? Your arrest is coming soon? From who and for what? You fucking... I don't know. It's so out of pocket, dude. It's so fucking out of pocket. Oh, no. He's in the den. Oh, no. By the way, one of the mods, not going to mention any names, but it starts with a D and ends with a Dr. J Banana, didn't invite someone, not going to mention any names, starts with an M and ends with an E, starts with a T and ends with his guy, to Casa Bonita today. But they went. They're having a grand old fucking time. They went. Some of us have never been. Anyways, you don't intimidate me. Your arrest is coming soon. I will own your salon within a year, Phil said. Godlewski's followers complied with his demands. Since May 2023, Pebbles has received over 1,000 negative reviews on Yelp and Google from members of the public that have never used Pebbles' service. They also made negative posts on Pebbles' Facebook and Instagram business accounts. In addition, Pebbles' phone number became essentially unusable because of non-customers using the phone number to harass Pebbles instead of booking an appointment. On May 8th, 2023, defendants posted another social media post about Pebbles, encouraging Godlewski's followers to make negative review, even if you never stepped foot in the salon. Over 2,000 of Godlewski's followers interacted with that post. In addition to the online harassment, there was and continues to be real-world harassment of Pebbles. On May 6, 2023, a handwritten note with red writing was delivered to Pebbles' business stating, "Your days are numbered, you filthy bitch." I just like saying that. You filthy bitch. B, a few days later, a second handwritten note was delivered to Pebbles' business stating, "You're going to pay. Everyone will watch you burn." I'm thinking about Dr. J Banana when I say it. You filthy bitch. But don't tell her. I don't want to offend her. Defendants' harassment of Pebbles continued past the May 2023 physical threats. On July 5th, 2023, defendants posted to Godlewski's social media channels the following message. "It appears she has deleted her Google review account. Still has Yelp and Facebook, though. I would think that people who have read the email above would want to alert the public of the type of person she really is." I know I would. I don't care. I want to go, and no one ever invites me. Ever. Pebbles is informed, believes, and therein alleges that defendants knew that by publishing Pebbles' information on the internet in light of the sheer number of followers Godlewski's social media, that Pebbles would suffer economic and emotional harm. Pebbles is informed and believes therein alleges that defendants intended for Pebbles' business to close and for Pebbles to suffer economic, reputational, and emotional harm. The July 2023 false FBI memo. This is going to be a good one. I was staring at a ceiling cat. Sorry. On July 28, 2023, defendants posted Godlewski's Telegram account a screenshot of a fabricated image bearing the Federal Bureau of Investigation emblem and containing Pebbles' name and related names, Telegram ID number, and purported FBI record number. The forged FBI memo. The forged FBI memo was accompanied by the following words attributed to Godlewski. "I won't or can't reveal the rest of this document, but boy, oh boy, is this going to be fun. F-U-N. Followed by a smiley face emoji. An excerpt of that post is below. The post was seen by at least 27,000 people. The numbers. The record number. I think I asked Phil about this once, and he's like, "I don't know, man. Just somebody that's got ties to the FBI sent that to me." I think it said something like that. I just put out what they're a good source. I just put out what they sent to me. On July 28, 2023, defendants had made several public statements about Pebbles to Godlewski's social media followers that associated Pebbles' legal name with the screen name of Pebbles. Thus, by July 28, 2023, Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that any reader of the forged FBI memo post would understand the forged FBI memo referred to Pebbles. On several occasions after July 28, 2023, defendants made additional statements that associated Pebbles' legal name with the screen name of Pebbles. By way of example, April 18, 2024, 8:25 a.m., defendants posted on Telegram the following statement. For informational purpose, Christina McCaslin's Telegram username was Pebbles Flintstone. 34, Pebbles is not a criminal. 35, no one affiliated from the FBI has ever communicated to Pebbles that she is subject of any FBI investigation. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that Pebbles is not under investigation by the FBI. The FBI has never generated a document containing Pebbles' name in relation to either an FBI investigation number or, as Godlewski puts it, an investigation number. The FBI has never supplied its investigatory files to Godlewski, and the director of the FBI never authorized Godlewski to use its logo for any purposes. So the reason he puts the director is it's actually a criminal offense to use in official capacity the FBI logo. Like, I might be able to put it in a YouTube video, but if I put it in a YouTube video and claim that I am the FBI or that this is an official FBI video or that this is an official FBI document and it's not, that's a lie. And it's a criminal charge. I don't know if they ever prosecute it. Like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it is technically illegal. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that defendants created and posted an image of the forged FBI memo with the intent to injure the reputation of Pebbles to inform his follow. By the way, Phil's whole claim is that they are attributing a crime to him of sleeping with a minor that he didn't do. But Phil is literally contributing to Pebbles a crime that's being investigated from the FBI that she didn't do. You've almost got it, buddy. Plaintiff is further informed, believes, and thereon alleges that Godlewski posted the forged FBI memo to social media knowing it was not true or with reckless disregard for its truth or falsity. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that defendants intended to harm Pebbles by insinuating in the forged FBI memo that Pebbles was under a criminal investigation by the FBI. Godlewski has demonstrated interest in antagonizing Pebbles with threats of impending criminal investigation, jailing, and or arrest. For example, defendants have published the following statements. On around July 29, 2023, Godlewski sent the following message to at least one person. PF, for example, is under investigation by the FBI, and she does not even know it yet. Defendants have made several public statements about Pebbles to Godlewski's social media followers that associated Pebbles' actual name with the acronym PF, which is short for Pebbles' screen name, Pebbles Flintstone. Thus, by July 29, 2023, Pebbles is informed and believes and thereon alleges that any reader of the above message would understand that the PF referred to Pebbles. On May 7, 2023, over 2 months before the forged FBI memo, Godlewski emailed Pebbles, "You don't intimidate me. Your arrest is coming soon. I will own your salon within a year. Just watch." On May 8, 2023, Godlewski emailed Pebbles the following message. "You've been monitored for a very long time and you didn't know it. We have you for a slew of crimes." No, Phil, bro. A slew of crimes? A whole slew? I don't believe it. I don't even think I want you sharing my link anymore, Dr. J. If people want to buy me a chair, I want you to be absent from it, okay? We're not even associates anymore. We may be enemies. You will not be getting away with a single one. My attorney is CC'd to this email. I suggest you find legal counsel right away, taco stand. Well, where I'm from, a slew is a bunch. Quite a few. And I don't think there's an actual number to it. If I said a whole slew, I would be talking about a dozen or more. Pebbles is informed, believes, and therefore alleges that defendants knowingly used the words Federal Bureau of Investigation, the initials FBI, and a colorable imitation of such words or initials without the written permission of the director of the FBI, in the social media publication at issue here, in a manner reasonably calculated to convey the impression that such publication was approved, endorsed, or authorized by the Federal Bureau of Investigation in violation of 18 U.S.C.A. 709. So when you put that stamp on it, if you're creating a fake document and you put that stamp on it, you're legally saying that this, whatever this is, was endorsed by the FBI. It's the FBI report or an FBI investigation or whatever. So you're saying that they did that. She's not even a real banana doctor. Last time she worked on my banana, it didn't work for weeks. Let me just tell you that. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that the defendant used the FBI seal without written permission of the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and that such unauthorized use violates 18 USCA 709. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that defendant's speech, either the creation of the forged FBI memo or its publication, were both illegal as a matter of the law. Defendant's creation and publication of a forged FBI memo is in violation of 18 USCA 709, is illegal as a matter of law, and is unprotected by the constitutional guarantees of free speech and petition. First, don't mail a banana to Dr. J. I'm just warning you. It's going to come back broken. I asked Mariah to kiss it and make it better, and she went to sleep, as usual. First cause of action for intentional infliction of emotional distress. Pebbles incorporates by reference and re-alleges herein paragraphs 1 through 41 above. Defendants' publication of Pebbles information over the internet and their encouragement over a long span of time directing members of the public to harass Pebbles is extreme and outrageous behavior. The fact that Godlewski has hundreds of thousands of social media, I would think that a jury would find it extreme and outrageous to fake an FBI document. Like, that's not a normal thing, right? No one would be like, oh, that's just normal course of action. That's just shit talk. You faked an FBI investigation? That's gotta be. If anything is extreme and outrageous, that's gotta be. The fact that Godlewski has hundreds of thousands of social media followers and that they reflexively follow Godlewski's ever commit harm to Pebbles. The use of the bomb emoji by Godlewski conveyed to his followers it was okay to use physical violence against Pebbles. The use of happy emojis expressed Godlewski's indifference to the suffering of Pebbles. The continued harassment campaign by defendants, even after physical threats of harm were made to Pebbles in May of 2023, demonstrates an intent for a prolonged and destructive course. Phil, you better settle, dude. Destructive course of conduct directed at Pebbles. For these reasons, Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that defendants intended to inflict emotional harm on Pebbles. As a direct and proximate result of defendants' actions, Pebbles has suffered emotional distress, lost income, and other damages. She continues to battle crippling anxiety and fear, knowing Godlewski's fanatical followers have it out for her. The fact that she has received hand-delivered death threats is a constant reminder that people who have it out for her could approach her at any time. She worries for her safety, and she has not felt safe or secure in her daily life since this whole ordeal began. Her anxiety and fear manifest in physical symptoms such as stomach pain, tingling hands, weak knees, headaches, insomnia, itching, and scratching, and bouts of despair. She no longer feels safe in her home or when she goes into work. She has suffered and continues to suffer fear and anxiety over her safety. I'm gonna leak Pebbles' home address and see if I can get Phil to publish it. Just put some icing on the cake. She has lost revenue due to defendants' actions. For example, following defendants' May 2023 actions, Pebbles had people she never met before book appointments and then never show up to the appointment. This prevented her from booking actual clients. Pebbles remodeled her space proud in May of 2023 and expected to receive revenue from renting out stations to other hairstylists. She expected to receive income of at least $4,500 per month. She had to close that large space due to defendants' actions. In committing the acts described in this complaint, defendants were guilty of oppression, fraud, or malice in that they were aware of the probable dangerous consequences to Pebbles that would be inflicted and intended for that harm to occur. Even after the initial incident, defendants continued to harm Pebbles knowing of the adverse impacts on Pebbles. As a result, Pebbles is entitled to a award of exemplary or punitive damages. By the way, the retards that keep saying that Phil didn't do anything that could, that could be brought up in civil court. He didn't do anything wrong that he could be held accountable for civilly. Not only did the judge already rule that the case has merit, he ruled that the case has merit in the state that has the absolute strongest anti-slap knot law in the world. There is no other state that is more generous to people who file anti-slap. Pebbles incorporate reference to the alleges paragraphs 1 through 41 above. Prior to the events alleged above, Pebbles leased the real property, commonly known as 209.5 Avenue I, Redondo Beach, California, the premises for purposes of operating her hair salon. Prior to the events alleged above, Pebbles had the right to possess, use, and enjoy the premises for operating her hair salon. Defendants, through the conduct alleged in paragraphs 20 through 30, created a condition to exist that obstructed Pebbles' free use and enjoyment of the premises. Pebbles could not be present at the property without being fearful for her life and safety and that of her employees and visitors. Pebbles could no longer use the premises for its intended use as a hair salon. Yeah, she doesn't even have to worry about herself. She has to worry about not only the people that work there, but even customers coming in. Because if one of Phil's crazy followers shows up to punish her, everybody's fucked, right? People just randomly walking down the street in front of her salon might be fucked. An ordinary person would reasonably be annoyed or disturbed by defendant's conduct. The conduct alleged in paragraphs 20 through 30 has been declared criminal by the California legislature pursuant to Penal Code Section 653.2 and illegal pursuant to Code of Civil Procedure Section 527.6. Pebbles did not consent to defendant's conduct. Pebbles was harmed insofar as she suffered fear and anxiety about physical harm to her and her employees. She also could not operate her business and ended up having to move her business away from the premises, causing her economic losses. Defendant's conduct was substantial in causing Pebbles harm. The seriousness of the harm to Pebbles outweighs the public benefit, if any, of defendant's conduct. In committing the acts described in this complaint, defendants were guilty of oppression, fraud, or malice in that they were aware of the probable dangerous consequences to Pebbles that would be inflicted and intended for that harm to occur. Even after the initial incident, defendants continued to harm Pebbles, knowing of the adverse impacts on Pebbles. As a result, Pebbles is entitled to a award of exemplary or punitive damages. Third cause of action for libel per se. In July 2023, defendants posted a forged FBI memo to social media where it can and has been viewed by thousands of Godlewski's social media followers. Pebbles is informed, believes, and thereon alleges that the readers of the forged FBI memo recently understood that the statements were about Pebbles. The readers of the forged FBI memo reasonably understood that the statement meant that Pebbles was under investigation by the FBI, committed a crime, and was going to be arrested and would be placed in jail. The readers of even people were like, oh, that's karma. She's going to get what she deserves now. Like, of course they believed it. The readers of the forged FBI memo would also understand that the use of the black box redactions on the memo, together with the words, I can't reveal the rest of this document, implies the FBI was aware of even more negative information about Pebbles. The forged FBI memo was false. Pebbles has never been under investigation by the FBI. Pebbles is not going to jail. Pebbles is not the subject to arrest. Defendants failed to use reasonable care to determine the truth or the falsity of the forged FBI memo. Although the memo contains an obvious typo, number, instead of number, defendants published the forged FBI memo with indifference to whether it was true or whether its publication could harm Pebbles. As a direct and proximate result of the defendant's false statements, the reputation of Pebbles has been damaged, and she now suffers shame, mortification, hurt feelings, and emotional distress in an amount to be determined at trial. In committing the acts described in this complaint, defendants are guilty of oppression, fraud, or malice, and that they were aware of the grievous harm to Pebbles' livelihood that would be inflicted based on the comments. As a result, Pebbles is entitled to an award of exemplary and punitive damages. Fourth cause of action for false light. The forged FBI memo asserted that Pebbles was under the investigation by the FBI and has committed a crime. The social media posts referencing and redacted portions of the forged FBI memo implied that the FBI and Godlewski were in possession of negative information about Pebbles that would be published at a later date. The forged FBI memo created a false impression about Pebbles. The creation and publication of the forged FBI memo was highly offensive to a reasonable person. Defendants were negligent in determining the truth of the information conveyed by the forged FBI memo or whether false impression would be created by its dissemination. As a direct and proximate result of the creation and publication of the forged FBI memo, Pebbles has suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial. In committing the acts described in the complaint, defendants are guilty of oppression, fraud, or malice, and that they were aware of the grievous harm to Pebbles' livelihood that would be inflicted based on the forged FBI memo. As a result, Pebbles is entitled to an award of exemplary or punitive damages. Damn, Phil. Damn. Yeah, if it's enough money, anybody would settle. McCaslin incorporates by reference and alleges, blah, blah, blah. This is for invasion of privacy. Prior to defendant's doxing of Pebbles in May 2023, Pebbles was known on the internet by her Telegram screen name as Pebbles. She used this name for the purposes of participating in online speech anonymously. In and after May 2023, defendants published on Godlewski's social media accounts Pebbles' first and last name and business information, although Godlewski's first and last name, as well as her business information is publicly known, prior to May 2023, there was no public connection between Pebbles' screen name of Pebbles and the information disclosed by the defendant in and after May 2023. Pebbles had a privacy interest in speaking anonymously on the internet as Pebbles, and that interest is protected by California and federal constitutional provisions protecting privacy. Prior to May 2023, doxing by defendants, Pebbles enjoyed a reasonable expectation of privacy that her personal and business information would not be associated with her screen name. In and after May 2023, defendants published Pebbles' personal and business information in connection with Pebbles' screen name. The publication of this private information resulted in threats, harassment, and emotional distress and economic losses. A reasonable person in Pebbles' position would consider the publicity highly offensive. Defendants knew or acted or with reckless disregard of the fact that a reasonable person in Pebbles' position would consider the publicity highly offensive. So here's the question that Phil's going to have to answer on the stand. If he didn't intend to negatively affect Pebbles, what other purpose could he have posted her information for? He wasn't posting it so more people would enjoy it. He said he was going to shut it down and that nobody should use it, and left a negative review and going to change it into a taco stand. He can't say he was publishing it because he had done some investigation and the public needed to know who this person was. He can't say he published it just for informational purposes. He published it. The only reason he would have published it is for some type of negative action to happen to Pebbles. Defendants knew or acted with reckless disregard of the fact that a reasonable person in Pebbles' position would consider the publicity highly offensive. The association of Pebbles' first and last name, business information with their screen name was not information of legitimate public concern and no substantial connection of a matter of legitimate public concern. As a direct and proximate result of defendant's conduct, Pebbles has suffered damages in an amount to be proven at trial. In committing the acts described in this complaint, defendants are guilty of oppression, fraud, or malice, and that they were aware of the grievous harm to Pebbles' livelihood that would be inflicted based on disclosure of private information and probable ensuing harm. As a result, Pebbles is entitled to an award of exemplary or punitive damages. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, Pebbles prays for a judgment against defendant as follows. Compensatory damages according to proof at trial, but in excess of the jurisdictional limit of this court. Punitive damages, injunctive relief, costs and attorney fees to the extent provided by law, and such other and different relief as the court may deem just and proper. Now, you guys got to remember that this case is not real. And you got to watch me and Pebbles because apparently Nick Alvear thinks we're pedos. Feel better settled. This is just too... He's got so much on him, dude. This one, you might have a shot at Nick Alvear. I would quadruple down on Nick Alvear. I would drop this one off the table, and I don't think you're going to win Scranton Times either. There's not been much come out in the Bree case, but I don't see how you win that with her testifying of her story and you testifying of your story. Nick Alvear, you got a real shot at, but I would drop this motherfucker in a heartbeat. Proof of service. Pebbles versus Godlewski at the Los Angeles County Superior Court case. I, Jason R. Evans, declare that I'm over the age of 18, employed in the County of Los Angeles and not a party within the action. My business address is 827 Deep Valley Drive, Suite 209, Rolling Hills Estates, California. On May 22nd, 2024, I served the foregoing first amended complaint on the interested parties in this action by placing a true copy thereof enclosed in a sealed envelope with a postage prepaid addressed as followed. By electronic service, I served the foregoing on interested parties by using the electronic filing service, ACE Attorney Service, to serve and file documents electronically as mandated by Los Angeles County Superior Court. Documents were electronically transmitted to an email address of the person set forth below. I declare upon penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct. Executed on May 22nd, 2024 in Rolling Hills Estates, California. Attorneys for defendant. The Dillon Law Group, DHILLON, Dillon Law Group. Pebbles versus Godlewski. Damn it, Dylan. Damn it, Dylan. What are we going to do now? It's going to be a rough one, Phil. I don't think you're going to come out of this one as a winner, bruh. Bruh, you're done. Get out of here. Nick always uses the word attracted when he refers to a man he's smitten with. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why he would even say this. Like, he knows it's got to look bad.
The dreams you have. Some people do it for 30 days.
He was talking about going to some Buddhist retreat, and you're only allowed to go for 10 days because it's so extreme. But he met a guy that had been there for 5 months, and there was his claim. Oh, by the way, congratulations, Pebbles. I think it's going to be a great case. But Nick's claim is that the guy had been at this Buddhist retreat for 5 months, so his eyes emitted light beams. Now, this is obviously not a true claim. Anybody's fucking eyes emitting light beams from them would be studied by the world scientifically. It'd be all over the papers. It'd be fucking everywhere. There was no light coming from his eyeballs.
And the dreams you have. Some people do it for 30 days. If you do enough 10 days, you're qualified to do a 30-day in India. And I remember I came on maybe my fourth one, and there was a guy who was there, and his eyes were just so light, like light was.
Pebbles, you owe me, I think it's 8 nudes now. And you're going to have to put a mirror on the floor or something. I don't feel like I'm getting the right angles
Coming out of them. I was so attracted to this guy, and not in a gay way, but like,
What?
like I was just like, whoa. Who was there, and his eyes were just so light, like light was coming out of them.
Not his eyes were light. His eyes were a crazy color. It was the weirdest blue I'd ever seen. They were all white. Light was coming out of them. Light was coming out of them. Don't say my name, Rada. That's how she pays me. They've already busted me. I can't help it.
I was so attracted to
Blowjobs for the lawyer, nudes for the cold beer confessional.
this guy, and not in a gay way, but like I was just like, whoa, what's up with that guy? And I asked him, I said, who
Not in a gay way, but like a, man, could you give me some of your semen way?
was there, and his eyes were just so light, like light was coming out of them. I was so attracted to this guy, and not in a gay way, but like I was just like whoa,
magnetism.
what's up with
Like his penis was a magnet and my lips were the opposite magnet. It was magnetic attraction. Not in a gay way. It was magnetism.
that guy? And I asked him. I
By
said,
the
"You
way,
know,
I don't know if you guys have ever watched this woman that was recording her. What's her name? Let me go back to that video clip. It says it in the corner, doesn't it? Arcana Shores. She may be the dumbest person alive. Watch some of this. Yeah, maybe a mirror on the floor and a mirror on the ceiling and a tripod. Do you have one of two cameras? Do you have one of those cool cameras that makes an invisible selfie stick so we can get like a 360? And would you be okay if I can get a camera in a pill form? Would you swallow it? Gonna need to know those questions before we cover any more Pebbles case stuff. This may be the dumbest bit.
Hey, everybody.
You know how Catmandu or whatever his name is like, Kristen might be the dumbest bitch this side of the Mississippi. Dumb bitch. That guy. I'm not a cat. I'm a full-grown man. You know that person? This may be who he was talking about.
Hey everybody, we are live. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. Most importantly, how are you, Nick? Thank you for coming.
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm just riding the wave of life. Life is
Life waves.
Some waves, and I learned how to surf.
That's intel. That's a drop. That's a calm, bro. Go buy your X39 patches. Life wave. I'm riding the wave of life. My cells are just stemming right now. What else you gonna say, bro?
With each one that comes. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm just a receptacle for each one that comes.
Awesome. That's funny you say that. That is why I named my channel Arcana Shores, because life is like waves, the highs and the lows of the waves. Yeah.
That's so
really
cool.
Yeah. You had no idea and you said that. That's awesome.
It happens all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have a lot of people here they've been really anxious for this show, so this is going to be awesome. We're going to get into a lot of topics here. I do want to start, if you don't mind, I want to get your perspective on everything going on with the Trump stuff, the white hats, all that stuff. So what's your take on, what do you think we're going to see next? There's so much going on.
That's a great question. So considering I'm a filmmaker, and a lot of my films don't actually have much of a definitive side to them. Like I'm not trying to persuade people into a thing solidly. I'm really trying to expand people's awareness into questioning things so they could do it themselves. But that being said, in the situation with Trump, there's two ways that this could play out in my mind, and there's one way that that I really believe will happen, but I've allowed myself not to be so definitive with what our future could be, because I've been like that, and I've experienced what happens internally when I fully believe in a reality that does not manifest. And so in this case, we will potentially have Trump in office again, 2024, 2025 and
just listen to her talk. Let me get
really
to another
know how-
spot where she talks.
do a lot, and in a way I compare this that you did.
He says that
different.
Trump's
So we'll
people
find out.
wanted to make sure to contact him and let him know that Trump saw the Derek Johnson video he made, the greatest show on earth. Trump's people made sure. He also calls himself he says, you know how they had like wartime photographers? I consider myself a wartime videographer. And she's like, oh my God, really?
Out soon enough what's
Coming. It's coming. It's going to wrap up. Find out, or you'll find out. That's what Trump has said in some interview.
Or we'll find out, or you'll find out. That's what Trump has said in his interviews.
Out there, you'll find out. So yeah, it's all coming. It's coming. It's going to wrap up. We just have to
This is Nancy Grace if she was missing at least 4 chromosomes.
see how they want to play it out. But yeah, it was fun to see what your take on that was. And also we have some other topics we're going to get into too. I know, and I've heard lots that you love XRP. What is your thoughts on XRP?
I love XRP, and I'm not like a king and quick to think. The speed of the country, it is boom, foods, and with XRP, having contracts with Ripple, the technology on a card, swipe it,
Trump talked a lot about crypto the other day. He must be calm.
and walk out. So I tell people, invest, and
Yeah, and it can happen just, very quickly,
Yeah, you can use XRP very quickly. Good job.
what it was made to be, and right now it's 50 cents. So it's not too late, and it doesn't matter if 3 months from now it's still 50 cents. Just be patient and watch. If something this valuable will blossom in tremendous ways.
Yeah, and it can happen just, very quickly, just randomly. And
and it can happen, very quickly, randomly, or quick like with a hurry,
I believe that. I don't know if it's this year or next year. I mean, I pull tarot cards on it, but it's a mix. I see action in June and I see action towards the end of the year. But but the biggest, time for it.
Yeah. So she says, I use my tarot cards and I see action in June and I see crypto action at the end of the year. And Nick's like, yeah, I see it.
I don't know. I mean, we've got Mel Carmine, a good friend of mine. He thinks it could.
I don't know that she could work at Hooters. She seems like if she was an overly sexually suggestive preschool teacher for mentally challenged foreign students. That's the best way I could describe her. Something's wrong with this bitch. I don't know what it is. She's fucking retarded. She's advertising this for, you guys remember the idiot in the chair, Mel Carmine? She's advertising this for him. Crypto Symposium.
The Quantum Summit was really created out of necessity because we are in a war, if you haven't noticed. The cabal,
No, we're not, clearly. We're not in a war.
The side is trying everything possible to try and take us out by any means necessary, from poisoning your toothpaste, your mouthwash, your food, spraying all kinds of chemicals. And out of the fact that the housing bubble hit in 2007, 2008, and then in 2009, Bitcoin is born, that was not a coincidence. That was programmed. We have a system right now that people like Jeff Bezos, they pay zero taxes. Bill Gates, the biggest billionaires know how to get around the system, but you and I don't have that luxury. They look at us like we're a bunch of cockroaches. Imagine if you had a system where your property taxes, your income taxes, and capital gains taxes go away. America is the last piece of the domino that needs to fall. It's going to be biblical, $199 general admission.
I don't know how to get this through your head. Do billionaires offset their taxes to where sometimes you'll see like a functional tax rate of like a -%? Yes. Okay. But that just tells me that you don't understand taxes. In 2020, billionaires paid 46% of all the taxes that were paid in the U.S. The 25 richest Americans paid $13.6 billion in taxes. Is their tax rate lower? Yes. But, okay, if my tax rate is 10% and I make $100,000 and your tax rate is 6% and you make $4 billion, who's paying more in taxes? I understand if you want to raise their taxes, lower their taxes, but stop this bullshit that says they don't pay any taxes. The people that don't pay any taxes are the people who get a full refund and negative on their taxes they paid in, right? They're getting money back. They're paying like a super low rate. It's like the poor people, the people that shouldn't be paying any taxes, right? The lower income. They do pay taxes.
Seek Idiot just resubscribed for 25 months.
They
We
100.
need
Thank
another
you.
SRR announcement for the K-Tards with fireworks.
At least I need some fireworks. You think I could buy my own fireworks and set them off and do an announcement? Stop saying that. You can say we should raise their taxes. You can say we should lower their taxes. You can say we should close loopholes. But when you say billionaires pay zero in taxes, you just don't understand taxes. You just don't understand taxes. It gets old eventually. Anyways, she's advertising for Mel Carmine. She's definitely mentally retarded. That's a given.
Gemini, also ruled by Mercury, is, what is that? That is communication. So communication, Geminis are the best in the whole zodiac wheel for communication, but that goes for all of us during this season. It's going to be easier to communicate, especially with relationships, business partners, all of that. Everything's just going to flow much better. Gemini, also ruled by Mercury, is, what is that? That is communication. So communication, Geminis are the best in the whole zodiac wheel for communication, but that goes for all of us during this season. It's going to be easier to communicate, especially with relationships, business partners, all of that. Everything.
I need some communication.
Much better. Gemini, also. Will Massara stop excessive lot rents on a home that is paid for and unfair HOA fees? Yes or no? Here we go.
Wait a second. Are there not trailer? I know how trailers work. Okay, obviously. Are there houses, not a trailer, not a mobile home, not a trailer park, that you own a house and you still have to pay lot rent? That sounds very problematic. If I build a traditional home with a foundation that cannot be moved, I have to pay lot. Are there places like that? That's crazy. I'm not saying there's not. That's crazy. Like, I understand how trailer parks work. You pay like the rent, lot rent or whatever, even if you own your trailer. But houses, I would never sign up for that. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Ace of Swords, so that's a yes. Current position is the Ace of Wands. So there is activity. There is definitely, Mars is ruling this card, so there's a lot of action. It's taking action.
Because that's what they just asked. They said their home is paid for. They pay homeowners fees, which makes me think they're in a nicer neighborhood. But they said excessive lot rents.
They're going after it.
What would you do if you didn't want to pay the lot rent? You can't take your home and leave.
4 of Cups. There's a new plan underway. Then we have the 7 of Swords. Yep, because it's been fraudulent. That's why. All of it. There's been so much fraud and taking of stealing money from the people. And then the Page of Swords and then the 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, it's going to be controlled. And
the 4 of Pentacorns.
there's someone that's going to be in better control to really help the people of Spain. Here we go. Wow, Ace of Swords. So definitely, it's something having to do with your leadership is changing in order to help the people, the families and the people, to make things more, I guess it's more affordable, and it's something about possible.
They'll probably, to be honest with you, if he gets elected and the Sargassar and the resets don't happen, they'll probably, because that's what they've been doing this whole time. I know it sounds like that would be like a game ender, but they'll probably say, oh, it did happen. It did happen. Look here, here, and here. And they'll use weird examples of bullshit. They'll be like, it did happen. But instead of changing, we just went, the dollar is now gold backed, or the dollar is now the reevaluate. Everything happened. It's just we didn't change the currency like we thought we were going to because the cabal wanted that currency because it had the moon on it. And we know the moon's not real.
Actually a red state, but manipulated to show it to be a blue state. Now, I know there's a lot of good, we've got a lot of our red Trump fans out there in Oregon. So yeah, it's not all blue. So let's see, is it just manipulated and they're just saying that it's blue?
A vanity plate for the Ferrari. There you go.
4 of Wands, Ace of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so it is a yes. They are manipulating Oregon and pretending it's a blue state, but it's not. So yeah, you're right on about that. 6 of Pentacles. So in numerology, a 6 is over the change of the 5. So I think they're gonna change that. It's not gonna be known as a blue state anymore. Is Oregon actually a red state, but manipulated to show it to be a blue state? Now, I know there's a lot of good, we've got a lot of our red.
Jesus Christ, these people are, I don't know why anybody would watch this. This person sounds fucking retarded. It looks like Madison Marquette is now going after a lawyer. So she says a foreign agent known as the British Accreditation Registry sent me this email because I put a valid lien on his home and bar card for using my intellectual property. See my response below. I'm not a sovereign citizen. Madison might have just fucked up. Faith DeLucia. The person sent her an email back that says, Madison, are you sure you want to go down this path? You can still stop the bleeding now. Courts don't favor the whole Sovereign Citizen Act or the selective application of law. Please see the attached demand. If payment is made by June 10th, we can move on. Perhaps your time would be better spent answering the lawsuit than filing UCCs. Best regards. So someone's suing her, answering a lawsuit. And she responds with, Garrett, are you addressing private business between you and I in a public forum based upon your representation of the Guzmans when these are 2 separate issues? Furthermore, you talk about legal, and I don't give a crap about your legal. I operate in lawful. Legal is contractual, and I don't contract with you, which you can see by our correspondence, of which you state and admit that we do not contract with each other. I am not a sovereign citizen, and they do not exist in my world. Oh, they don't even exist in her world. She may have really fucked up. Yeah, moving the goalpost. They'll just, so like, they've had all these different things that Trump was going to do, and they're like, oh, well, technically he really did. If you think about it this way or that way, or if you go back and re-listen to what he said, he didn't say this, he said that, and that's what happened. They self-soothe with like making bullshit up. It's crazy. I'm not a sovereign citizen. They do not exist in my world. That is something your handlers came up with to demean we the people for exercising our unalienable rights. unalienable rights. Sovereign citizens are an oxymoron just like you, but skip the oxy. You're just a moron. This is an actual lawyer. This is an actual lawyer. Last time I checked the courts, administrative tribunals do not like lying lawyers and attorneys. If your information, your information, I still bleed once a month. That is God's doing, not your doing. She addressed her period because he said, stop the bleeding. You can still stop the bleeding now, as in like bleeding out money or losing. And she addressed her period. Oh, no. Yeah, the court case that she just filed or whatever, or that was, she was part of. Jesus. Maddie. I hope she brings in a used tampon for proof that she hasn't stopped the bleeding because she is a natural citizen. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. Support the show while we're offline. I'm out of here. See y'all later. Have a good night. Coldbeer.fund if you want to contribute to the show so we can keep it going. See you guys.
Douchebag happens to see this.
Shout out to Pebbles.
You don't have
Phil, you might want to settle.
Call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott. Here we go. I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit. Where my true believer? Y'all need Jesus. Praise the Lord and head to the extreme. All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like Thor in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, beating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit.
Could be stamping in place in prison.
You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet.
I do have to. I know we joke about the chair fund. I don't know if people are going to donate, but I do have to buy a chair. This chair, it's so fucking low. I hate. Like, I guess the cylinder's out, so it's on like the lowest setting. I feel tiny in front of my desk or my foldable plastic folding tables.
Strapped to an F-16, high on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? It's it. Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. My mom's an alcoholic. Oh, give me a... Oh, my God. Damn it. Here we go. I think I started some shit. Piss them off. It's about to get lit. Get the place in the best. You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go. I think I started some shit. Piss them off.
A new rumor just dropped on the Nick Rekieta stuff that Anna, who is that Star Wars girl, has been turning over evidence to the sheriff's office to show that Aaron Imholt set the Nick Rekieta arrest into motion. It says she was always in the back room of Simpcast, so she would have DMs from April Imholt, the wife, going all the way back to 2022. And she's been turning that into, update, not a rumor. It has now been confirmed. She's denying this, but it came from another law tuber who has receipts. Huh. And it's not Nick, it's another law tuber. So Aaron might be involved with this. I don't know. But if she has text message between Aaron and his wife and he's threatening to turn them in or saying he sent shit in or something like that, that would be interesting to see over the next couple of days.
Because you're a pussy.
Either way, see, I gotta go. We'll see you guys.
Theater glasses in your mother's basement, and I won't even give out your dime store handle because that's really pathetic.